What's up, guys? My name is Tyfu. I'm broadcasting from Bangkok right now. If you guys can hear me, please go ahead and let me know what city you are in and that you can hear me clearly. Okay? So I know where you guys are at. Okay? Let me know what city you guys are in and if you guys can hear me clearly. Okay? I have a bunch of questions here that one of my students is asking. Okay. All right. Colin in San Diego, you can hear me. Phong in Saigon, Vietnam, you can hear me. Right. Osco in Washington, D.C., you can hear me. All right. So let me know if the audio is good, guys. Right. Okay, so here are some of the questions that my students sent me. And I'm just going to paste it in here so that you guys have a list to go by. Right? Oh, there's a limit on the text. Here. Okay, I'm just going to do it one at a time. A few questions at a time here. Okay, there's a limit. What the hell is the limit here? There's a limit of 200 characters. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing this game here. Okay, I'm not gonna put the questions in because it's just too, there's a limit on it. There's a 200 character limit. I don't know why, but there's a 200 character limit. Okay. All right. So here's, I'm going to go over and, hold on, let me hit the record button here. Give me a second, guys. I just bought this new desk, and Let me plug in the remote control here for my camera. Okay. Okay. I just plugged in the remote. Okay, Genghis Khan can hear me clearly in LA. All right, what's up, guys? My name is Ty Zen, and welcome to the cryptocurrency.market channel. Broadcasting live right now from the beautiful city of Bangkok. And I have a list of questions here that my students are sending to me. So I don't like typing, guys. I don't type very fast for my students, so I'm just going to answer them right here in this live stream to make it easy. Okay, so in front of me we got you guys can go to my website, cryptocurrency.market. In case you guys are new to this channel, right, or in case you heard this video for the first time, my name is Ty Zen, and here's my background so that you guys understand where I'm coming from and how I learned to trade and everything. Because whenever I listen to somebody talk about trading or investing online, the majority of the time I just think they're full of shit, you know, and I need to know where this person learned how to trade and got their knowledge and their experience from before I listen to them. So I'm sure that many of you guys feel the exact same way. So let me just give you guys a quick intro. Okay, I left Vietnam when I was about 5 years old, and I lived in the refugee camps after the war between the US and Vietnam at around 5 years old. I lived in the Malaysian refugee camps for like a year, and then from there I immigrated to the US. I got to the US, and my family was very poor, and they were very uneducated because we came from a small fishing village. And to save money, my family moved into a ghetto black-ass neighborhood, and we lived in a really poor ghetto neighborhood. And then from there, right, well, at first we moved into, in the elementary school years, I lived in Washington, Olympia, Washington, and Salem, Oregon, okay? And I lived there, and after school I would go and pick fruit and vegetables, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, all that, you know, corn, peaches, cherries, anything that you guys can imagine that grows in most of the common fruit and vegetables in America. I picked it when I was in elementary school. And then in junior high school, I went and we saved up some money, and we moved down to the city of Fort Worth in the state of Texas, and I started working in the sweatshops, and I started sewing clothes, and we did that throughout all my middle school years, from the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and then 10th, 11th, and even into the 12th grade, okay? And then into the 11th grade. Okay, because I dropped out of high school in the 11th grade, all right? So, and then we saved up some money during that time. We moved down to the city of Port Arthur, which is near Texas, and that's where we were just not doing very well financially, so we moved into the downtown area of Port Arthur, which is very ghetto, and we were the only non-black family that was living in the black neighborhood there. And I made the decision to choose the wrong type of friends, and I hung around with friends that sold drugs, and I got involved in selling drugs, and the cops came and they busted us, right? And I ended up going to prison for almost 14 years in federal prison. I lived at like, I think 7 or 8 different federal prisons in America, and in prison, there's 2 things that's illegal. One is that you cannot have sex with other guys in prison. That's illegal. And then you cannot have sex with the female prison guards. That is also illegal. And there's something else that's in prison that's illegal that most people do not know about, okay? It is illegal for you to make money while you were in prison, okay? And while I was in the prison, I would go to the law library, and I would learn about the legal system so that I can fight my case, because I had 65 grams of cocaine, and then when I went to trial and I lost the trial, they sentenced me to 6,500 grams of cocaine, okay? And I had a gun on me that was in the car, and in the state of Texas where I live, it's legal for you to carry a gun. However, when I got in trouble, right, they sentenced me to using the gun and shooting my brother with it, which is not true, because my brother was in the truck with me. I did not shoot my brother, okay? He's my blood brother. Why would I shoot my own brother for? Or why would I use a gun against my own brother for? Why would I? There's no reason for me to use a gun. We were driving out in the middle of the highway, okay? So anyways, right? So I was in the law library trying to research the legal system and the law and how to fight my case. And during that time, right, I appealed my case many, many times, and I lost every time, okay? So I did almost 14 years in prison because I did not win my drug case, okay? During that time, it was illegal for us to make money in prison. There were people that were selling drugs in prison. There were people that were bringing bodybuilding supplements like protein powders and creatine and trying to sell it. There were people that bringing in gold chains and trying to sell it in prison. There were people that was doing male prostitution in prison and making money, and there were people that were running sports betting to make money, and all that stuff was illegal, obviously, inside prison and outside of prison. However, there was a group of white guys that were doing something that was very interesting to me in the law library, and every day they were talking about buying and selling coffee, oil, gold, stocks, and other commodities like soybean, okay, and sugar. And I thought that it was very strange that somebody was sitting in prison talking about selling hundreds of barrels of oil, or, you know, hundreds of bushels of wheat. And just, to me, that did not make any sense, because I grew up working in the fruit and vegetable fields. I worked in the sweatshops, and I worked in the shipyards to build commercial fishing boats. So all my life, all I knew was labor, okay, doing manual labor for money. I never knew of anything about trading, investing, being an entrepreneur. I didn't know any of that stuff. Even though I was living in America, my family was very uneducated, and we came from a very small fishing village. So we came to America as refugees. So my family is not rich, they are not wealthy. Matter of fact, my family is very poor, they're dumb as shit, and they're very uneducated. Matter of fact, I am also, you know, very uneducated and dumb as shit, okay? But the thing that helped me was that when I was in prison, I saw these guys making money in front of me, okay, while I was in prison, and that always inspired me to learn about trading and investing, even though I did not know what that was, okay? And I try to follow these guys, but it was just very, very difficult for me to understand the newspaper that they were reading. It was called the Wall Street Journal and the Investor's Business Daily, okay? They call it the IBD. So every day when I go into the law library and try to research how to fight my case and appeal my case and win my drug case, I would hear these white guys, okay? And by the way, I say white guys, but I think there was a couple of them in there that were Hispanic. They were Mexicans, okay? But they look white, so I call them all white guys, okay? I didn't understand how these guys could be sitting there making money and trading soybean and coffee and wheat and all these things. And that fascinated me, that they could sit behind prison and without doing any kind of manual work or any manual labor, that they were able to make money from buying and selling coffee and soybean and oil and gold and silver and all these other commodities while they were sitting in prison, okay? How is this possible, okay? Now, I know that they were not bullshitting, okay, because they would do this every day, every week, while everybody was doing other stupid shit in prison to make money. These were the only guys I saw that was doing something that was not illegal, okay? Now, when I say it's not illegal, obviously, it was illegal for you to make money in prison, okay? It's a violation of prison law for any prisoners to try to run a business or make money while they were in prison, okay? When you're in prison, your ass is supposed to sit there and do nothing. So when I was sitting in prison, right, it just, you know, we can say that the gambling, the prostitution, the drugs, the smuggling, and all that stuff was illegal, right? But there was nobody in prison that thought that buying and selling stocks or sugar or commodities was illegal, okay? Not even the prison guards thought that was illegal. Even though in the law books it was illegal to do, nobody, the prisoners, the guards, the warden, the lieutenants, the officers, the captains inside the prison, there was not a single person that thought that another human being buying or selling sugar or wheat or soybean or gold or silver or anything or oil was illegal. Okay, even though it was against the law, they did not enforce it because that's not something that people consider as illegal. Even if it's a law, nobody considered it was illegal, okay? So that fascinated me, and that's fast forward that several years later, I ran into this black guy, and I'll just call him Big Afro because this dude had a massive afro, okay? He was from the Bahamas, okay? And I went to prison in 1993 at 18 years old, and it wasn't until the year 2000, right, that I met this guy, Big Afro, okay, from the Bahamas. And this dude, man, he was jet black, man. He was jet black like this mouse right here, okay? I mean, I've met a lot of black guys in my life, but I've never met somebody that's this jet black, okay? I mean, this guy, I mean, when we make fun of our black friends and say that they don't smile at night, we can't see him. This is one of those guys that if he doesn't smile and you see his white teeth, you can't see his ass, okay? If he closes his eyes like this and don't smile, you can't see his ass. He's that fucking black, okay? Well, this big Afro dude, he introduced me to a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, okay? And that was the first time that opened my eyes. It was the first time that, even though I saw those other guys trading and investing into commodities and stocks and stuff like that, I did not put a lot of time and effort into learning it because I thought that was something that you had to be white to do it, you had to be rich to do it, and there was no way that a poor, uneducated dumbass like me from Vietnam, from a small fishing village, was going to be able to do some heavy-duty, complicated financial stuff like that, okay? So when this big Afro from the Bahamas, right, gave me this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I would read it and I would say, hey man, like, the biggest key takeaway from that book that I read, from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that completely changed my life and made me make the final decision to quit, never go back to college and never ever consider college again, was that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in the book, the biggest lesson I learned was that if you want to make money, you got to learn about money. That's it. If you want to skip reading the book, and right, the biggest lesson I learned was that if you want to learn about life-changing profits and you want to learn about making money, right, you got to go and learn about money. All right, you got to learn about building a business. You got to learn about building a business. You got to learn about investing and do all those things, okay? So that was the key takeaway that I had from the book, all right? So when I came out of prison in 2006, towards the end of 2006, I was about 32, 33 years old, and my goal was to learn trading. And I went to every damn seminar and every meetup and everything, investor meetup, trading and seminar. I went to all of them, okay? And the biggest mistake that I made at that time was that I did not know that you had to build an entire trading system or investing system to be consistently profitable. So I would go to this trading meetup and I would hear this guy talk about the MACD, and I would go home and I would try it, and it just fucking confusing as shit, and I didn't make any money. I would go to another investor meetup and I would meet another guy and he would talk about oil and gold and stuff like that, and I did not I would try, but it was never consistent. Did I make money? Yes. Did I lose money? Yes. But it was never consistent, okay? Did I make money consistently? No. Did I lose money consistently? No. However, the losses were bigger than the gains. So I made money, but I would never brag and say that I had a consistently profitable system, okay? Now, keep in mind that back in 2006, 7, 8, I was going to all these seminars, but it wasn't until after I had my first heart attack in 2007, and I made the decision, I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to give myself, I had the heart attack, I think, in 2007, shortly after I came out of prison. It was very devastating. It was very, it almost killed me because I did not know that I was having a heart attack. So even when I was rushed to the emergency room and the doctors tried to treat me for the heart attack, I was being very stubborn, right? I just refused the treatment. And it took a long time for the doctors to convince me that I was having a heart attack, okay? Because I was a personal trainer for like almost 14 years in prison. I trained a ton of guys to get big, strong, and massive in prison, and I was big and strong myself, so I never believed that I was having a heart attack, okay? So because of that, even though the emergency room doctors told me to sign the paperwork to give them permission to treat me, I refused it because I did not believe that I had a heart attack at that time. I thought they were trying to scam me, okay? So anyways, I finally, did sign the paperwork. They put 4 stents in my heart, and dude, I was devastated. I thought that my life was over. When they put the stents in my heart, I thought I came out of prison, and I said, man, I came out of hospital. I couldn't believe that I've been in prison for almost 14 years, and then after I come out, I would suffer a massive heart attack. And it was very, very, what do you call that? Distraught disappointing, sad, depressed, right? There was a lot of negative emotions that went through my head, you know, but the reason why I pushed on was that I always thought that, you know, I never believed that I was put on this earth to eat, shit, sleep, and then die, okay? I believe that, you know, I was put on this earth to do more than just eat, shit, sleep, and die. Okay, so even though I was in prison most of my life, at that time I was about 32, 33 years old, and about 14 years of that time was spent in prison. I just refused to believe it, man. I just refused to believe that I was going to go to prison. I was born on this earth, go to fucking prison for 14 years and come out and just die of a heart attack, you know. I just refused, you know. If I die and I went to hell at that time, I'd slap the shit out of the devil. I'd slap the shit out of fucking St. Peter or whoever, man, because I just refused, man, okay. So what happened was, I came out, but there was one thing that I considered. I said, hey, I came out of prison, and it's been like 2 years now. I've been to every damn seminar and every investing and trading seminar that I could find in the city of Austin and the city of Houston and the city of Dallas, okay? I lived in the state of Texas at that time, so all the seminars in the big cities like Texas, San Antonio, Austin, Houston, I went to all of them, okay? And I still did not learn how to trade. And it wasn't until I finally met this guy, my trading coach, who later on became my trading coach. I'm just gonna call him Mr. Apple, okay? Because he was always trading Apple. So I met this guy, Mr. Apple, and he was coaching me, and he got me enrolled into a trading school. And at that time, it turns out it was the biggest trading school in America, all right? They had like 40 offices around the country to teach people trading. So I got in there, and Mr. Apple introduced me to a guy. I'm just going to call him Mr. Green. Okay, so Mr. Green, right, taught me how to trade, and that was the first like professional trader that taught me, you know, like real trading, like real world trading. Okay, and then I'm not going to go into a long story about some of the other people, you know, but I will give a shout out to my second teacher. His name was Rick. Okay, and the other one was Scott. Okay, and where's Rick from? Man, I forget. But he's a futures trader and a forex trader, and Scott was the what do you call that? He traded all the asset classes: stocks, futures, forex, options. Okay, so these three guys, right? These are the three white guys that taught me how to trade. Okay, stocks. And forex and futures. Okay, these were the guys. They did not teach me anything about crypto. Okay, they did not teach me anything about it, right? And each of them taught me like a different component of building a profitable trading system or investing system. Okay, so not one of them taught me from, you know, like from beginning to end the entire system, right? But one of them would be very good at one area. Like for example, the Mr. Green, he was very good at technical analysis, right? And like Rick, he was very good at like the math behind, you know, capturing big winners. And then Scott was like really good with trend analysis and how to capture big winners. Okay, so because of that, one of my students right here, Rick, is from Colorado. That's right, dude. Like my memory is fading, man. Like when you guys like ask like why am I, you know, recording some of this stuff, you know, that's because I don't want to forget, man. Because I noticed that as I'm getting older, my memory is it's fading. Okay, so what happens is, thanks a lot, Dobbs. Okay, Dobbs is one of my former co-worker, and then he's also one of my students right now. So, so what happened was I started trading stocks, forex, futures, and it wasn't until 2012 I was working at an energy brokerage firm in Dallas. Okay. And we were selling commercial electricity, and in the back they were mining Bitcoins. And I thought that, you know, these dudes, these white dudes were crazy. You know, white people in America, they do some fucking crazy shit, man. Like they'll jump out of airplanes with no parachute. They'll try to go as high up into space without a spaceship, you know, on a freaking weather balloon, you know, stupid shit like that, you know. They do some crazy shit, man. Like if a UFO landed, the Asians and the blacks and the Mexicans, they would all run away from the UFO. The white people, they would fucking run over there and see, say hello to the aliens and shit. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, if they have kind of technology to fly from another planet to come to our planet and visit us, like, I don't want to be the first guy that goes and says hello to them. I'm gonna let my white friends go do that, because they'll volunteer and they'll be there in a heartbeat. Okay. Now, the reason why I say that these white guys are the ones that helped me, the three white guys, and then the white guys that were the owners of the energy brokerage firm, is I hate the fact that in America right now, it's a majority white country. It's like 60% white people, and there's so many people talking shit about the white people in America, and I don't like that, because the majority of the people in America are white. Okay, and the majority of the people that helped me make life-changing profits and taught me how to make life-changing profits, they were all fucking white people. So I don't know why everybody's bitching, complaining, about all the white people in America for. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of there and go live in another fucking country. Go back to your homeland if you don't like it, okay? But don't go to a country where there's 70% white people and then bitch and complain that there's too many white people in the country, okay? Are there some bad white people in America? Yes, I've been in prison with them. But the majority of the white people in America, they're very, very good people, okay? And I know that it's not, what do you call that, politically correct, to support white people, but I'm going to say shut the fuck up, because the majority of the people in America are white people. And the majority of the people that are helping other people in America, the majority of them are white people. And how do we know that? Because the majority of the fucking population is white. That's the reason why. Okay, the majority of the population is not Asians. They're only like 5 or 6% of the population. Even if they wanted to help people, they will not be able to do that, because they're only a small percentage of the population. The black people, I think they're like 14% of the population. And even if they want to help people, they cannot help. You cannot say that they're going to help the majority of the people. Okay, the Mexicans, I think they're like 21%. Okay, so the majority of the people in America are white. So if we say that the majority of the American people are good people, right, then we would have to say that the majority of them are white. So I don't know why all these people are fucking saying stupid shit about Forbes. I'm not, because the majority of the people that helped me when I came to America as a refugee were white people. So that's why I'm going to give them credit for that. Okay. So anyways, back to this. Okay. It took me a while to build my trading system. After I saw the white guys, the crazy ass white guys. Those are some crazy ass dudes too. And I know that they're watching this shit. They're probably laughing their ass off right now. But me and you, they used to make fun of my small penis and my slanty eyes all the time, Hey man, I can't help it. I'm fucking Asian, okay? So, so I would see, but there were some crazy ass white guys that worked at the energy brokerage firm that I worked at in Dallas, okay? However, there were some fucking smart ass fucking business guys, and there were some smart ass investors. They knew how to recognize new technology. They knew how to recognize new talent and things like that. So they were mining Bitcoins, and so I learned from them about Bitcoin, and then I confirmed it with one of my Asian friends, the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned LeonFu.com is my Taiwanese friend, and he's the real Asian that understands math and science. Unfortunately, I am not. That there's a lot of stereotypes about Asians, like slant eyes, small penis, and all that shit. I fit that stereotype, okay? But when it comes to being smart and being good in math and science and good in school and shit like that, for some reason, I got the negative shit about Asian stereotypes, but I did not get all the good stuff about Asian stereotypes, where, highest income earners in America, good with math and science, making good grades, college degrees and shit. I don't know what happened, but I was born without the good stereotypes about Asians. I was only born with the negative stereotypes about Asians, okay? So, sucks for me, I guess, right? But who gives a shit, because I'm a millionaire now. That's all that fucking matters, okay? So, when I got into the crypto, right, I used all the knowledge and experience that I got from learning how to trade stocks, futures, and Forex, and I applied that towards crypto. And I was ready to get into the crypto market. I had to learn a lot of stuff, right? But over the years, right, we built a system called the Tyfu investing system that we teach in our course. It's somewhere under here, called the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint. You guys can go check it out at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. And in that blueprint, right, we created the version 1.0, the version 2.0, and then we released the 3.0 in Vietnamese, right? And then we're working on the 4.0. So the 4.0 will likely be in English, okay? So I want to answer some questions from our student about the investing, the Tyfu investing system that we teach in the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint, okay? So one of our students in Malaysia, he wrote down a bunch of questions, and it applies to a lot of our students, so I'm going to answer them all at the same time, right? So he says that the Tyfu index strategy is actually like the S&P 500. The only difference is that these two is usually in the stock market. When I want to invest into the S&P 500, I would buy the S&P 500 ETF called the Spiders and pay a little commission to the portfolio manager to do all the balancing and all the work for me. And that is correct, okay? There's two ways that we can invest into the markets, right? We teach 5 strategies in the Tyfu investing system that we teach in the cryptocurrency investing blueprint course. We teach 5 strategies, okay? Those 2 out of those 5 strategies, they are mining, they are lending, they are indexing, and there's the opportunity trades, and then there's staking. We do not recommend the mining, okay? We do not recommend the lending. They do make a profit, they do make money, so we're not going to deny that, but we do not recommend it because you have to be very technical to be a miner, and you have to be a dumbass to be a lender, okay? So both of these, we don't recommend that because that's very high risk, okay? The 3 that we recommend are to use the index strategy. What is the index strategy? The Tyfu index strategy is that we bet on the market, the entire crypto market going up. What is the opportunity trades strategy? These are the coins that are outside the Tyfu index, and we're looking for opportunities, okay? And then staking, any coins that we hold in our portfolio that can be staked, we stake it, okay? As long as we don't send it to a smart contract. We avoid those. If we do it, we do it with a very small bet size, okay? Because that's high risk to send your money to a smart contract because they can be hacked at any time. For example, like Pancake Swap, that is you're staking that on a smart contract. B Swap, okay, or Buy Swap, you are staking that on a what do you call that? You are sending your money to a smart contract to stake for you, okay? Those like that, we avoid those, right? And or if we do it, right, we do just a small amount, okay? Like right now, I'm staking some B Swap, right, on the from the Binance coin, right? And I just make a small bet size on that, okay? Because they're doing a lot of things that Pancake Swap screwed up on. So I bought some B Swap because they are solving the problems that Pancake Swap created, okay? The reason why I got out of Pancake Swap was because they were the best decentralized exchange on the market in the 2021 bull market, but then after that they did a bunch of stupid lockup shit, you know. It's just really stupid, okay? Really fucking stupid, right? That was one of my biggest winners in 2021. I loaded up on a bunch of it. Even after 2021, after I sold it all, I went back and I bought a bunch more, but they changed their it's so stupid right now, I'm not even gonna waste time talking about it, okay? All this lockup period, man, is dumb as shit, okay? So BSwap is the exchange that resembles, and they're trying to clone Pancake Swap, and they're trying to solve all the problems without all the stupid lockups, okay? So that's why I bought it and made a small bet on it, okay? When we bet into the Tyfu index, which is what right here, you guys can go to my website right here at cryptocurrency.market, and there's several indexes listed here. If you are not retired yet, okay, use the Tyfu 80-20, which means that 80% of your money will be going into the markets to invest, and 20% will just sit in your ammo bucket or your capital bucket to use it to rebalance your portfolio every quarter, okay? So when my student here in Malaysia asked me if the Tyfu index is similar to the S&P 500 index, he is 100% correct. That is correct, okay? Now, is the Tyfu index, the way that we invest in it, is it similar to buying the SPDR ETF? Okay, yes, it is. The difference is that the SPDR ETF, you're paying somebody else to rebalance the portfolio for you, okay, and to do it for you. And in the Tyfu index, right, we cannot do that for you because we are not licensed in any country to give financial advice or hold your money. So because of that, you have to do the rebalancing yourself. Okay, so when you come to this site, here's the index, and here's how you track the index, and here are all the coins down here, and what percentage of it to buy, okay? And we rebalance it every quarter, okay? So if you start today, then you would go with the column for today, right? Don't use the one from October 1st, all right? So that's how we rebalance it, okay? So now, right, when the next question is our Malaysian student, he says the reason why we have to do it ourselves is because the Tyfu index does not have an ETF. That is 100% correct. Maybe in the future we will create an ETF or some kind of fund on the Tyfu 30 crypto index, but at this moment we do not have the time or the energy or the desire to do that at the moment. Things can change in the future, but right now we make a shitload of more money from just investing into the Tyfu index ourselves, okay? So we don't have time to do it for other people at this moment. And plus, we don't have the software to manage other people's money at the moment. I am managing other people's money, but I'm doing it manually, and there's a limit to what I can do, okay, until we build the software, right? Now, the next one is, he says the rules for this strategy is if the coin is in the Tyfu 30 index, just buy it no matter what. Yes and no, okay? No matter what is not exactly. The Tyfu index is a guideline, right? So these are all the coins in the Tyfu index, right? You can scroll down and see all of them, right? Now, we buy most of the coins in the index. So for example, if you are in the 80-20, right, then I would encourage, I teach our students to buy the top 20 coins in the Tyfu index. We don't want to really buy the top 30 coins, and here's the reason why. Because in most Western countries, there's a taxable event. Every time you buy and sell something, it can create a taxable event. And we don't want to pay the highest tax rates. We want to reduce our taxes as much as possible, so we don't want to make a lot of transactions, okay? So because of that, right, we only rebalance our portfolio once a quarter. We don't rebalance it once a month. We don't rebalance it once a week because one, we don't want to pay a bunch of taxes, and number two, it does not make a big difference over a long time, okay? Over multiple market cycles, whether you rebalance every quarter, every month, or every year, it does not really matter. We do it once a quarter because that's the standard accounting procedures in most Western countries, so we just use that method. Now, in Vietnam, currently they do not tax crypto, so it's worth it to rebalance every quarter. But if you're in a Western country like America or Canada or the EU or Australia, right, you need to look and see, does this create a taxable event for me when I rebalance my portfolio? In America, almost every time you rebalance the portfolio, especially if we are in a rising market, there is going to be a taxable event. So what we don't want to do that. So I'm outside of the U.S. I'm not a U.S. resident. I'm not a U.S. citizen. So right, I have never been a U.S. resident or a U.S. Citizen. Okay. So now that I don't live in the U.S., right, I'm not under U.S. Tax jurisdiction, so it's worth it for me to rebalance every quarter. However, if I were to move back to the U.S. and live there, I would have to ask myself, okay, is it worth it for me to sell my coins, right? And let's just say that right here, let's say that on January 1st, 2024, right, I need to have 53% Bitcoin in my portfolio because it went from 49 to 53%. I need to buy more Bitcoins, right? So if I need to buy more Bitcoins, I have to ask myself, well, is that a taxable event? right? Well, it's not a taxable event for me to buy. However, like let's say that the Ethereum dropped from 19, and I need to sell some of it and reduce it down 17%, right? Then if I made a profit on it, then there is a taxable event right there. So I have to sell that Ethereum, and it creates a taxable event, and then I have to pay taxes on it and take the money left over to go buy the Bitcoins. That's a lot of headache for me, and that's a lot of hassle, and I don't want to be giving the government taxes when I haven't even taken profits yet, right? I'm just selling to rebalance my portfolio. So because of that, right, because there's only a 2% difference, I may consider not rebalancing my portfolio, okay? Outside the US, right, or outside the US, if you live in a country where crypto is not being taxed at the moment, right, you can rebalance it every quarter. But if you live in a country where it creates a taxable event, you might consider only rebalancing your portfolio maybe once, maybe twice a year. Okay, so you got to look at the numbers and see and talk to a licensed tax professional, like a licensed accountant or a licensed tax attorney, to see if that makes sense or not. Okay, so when our Malaysian student asked us if we buy every coin in the index, the answer is no. Because the reason why is because the coins on number 21 through 31 right here, the bottom 10 coins, those coins come in and out of the index very frequently. Okay, so we don't want to buy those coins and then have to pay taxes every quarter when we haven't even made a profit yet. Okay, so to me, that's not worth it. Okay, for the students that are in the 80-20, I would focus on the top 30 coins in the Tyfu index. For the students that are using the 70-30 index as their ruler, as their benchmark, and as their guideline, I would just buy the top 15 coins. And then for me and the rest of my team, we're in the 60-40 category, right? So 60% of our money is being invested in the markets, and the other 40% is held in cash. So for us, because we have more money saved up to pay for living expenses, we can afford to take less risk because we're focused on capital preservation. We're not focusing too much on capital growth, okay? So because of that, we're going to use the 60-40 index, and for us, we're just going to invest in the top like 10 coins or 11 or 12 coins, and that's it, all right? The reason why we do that is because the top 10 coins, they do not change positions very often, okay? So why is that important? Well, if you have a big portfolio or you live in a country where they tax you a lot, you don't want to be rebalancing your portfolio very often because that creates a taxable event, okay? So when our Malaysian student asks, hey, do I buy every coin in the index no matter what? The answer is no. Okay, we buy according to the tax jurisdiction that we're in, and we buy according to the size of a portfolio. The other thing that we need to consider is the law, okay? So for example, like there's a coin here like Monero, okay? Monero is in the index because it meets all the qualifications to be in the index, okay? If you want to know what those qualifications and what those filters are to have a coin be in the index, come over here, click on the company tab, and go look at the methodology right here, and it explains exactly what all the filters that we use are. We haven't changed those filters since 2017 when we invented the Tyfu 30 crypto index, so they're fairly consistent. We have clarified it, but we have not changed anything, okay? Change any of the filters or the rules. And where did we come up with those filters and those rules to set the filters to allow the requirements to allow the coins to come into the Tyfu 30 index? Well, it's based on our 10 years of experience in trading and investing. There's certain things that's too high risk and we don't want it in the index. For example, if a coin does not have a hardware wallet, we don't want it to be in the index because we cannot put a large amount of money into that coin if it does not have a hardware wallet support. Another example is like the BNB coin, the Binance token, the Binance Smart Coin token. It's not in the index. The reason why is because it is not a coin that can be traded in the in the eastern countries and the western countries. And if a coin is not global, then we do not allow it to come into the index. It has to be a coin that can be traded reasonably have reasonable, easy access to trade it in the East and in the West for it to be in the Tyfu 30 index. So these are all the criteria and all the filters that we set out in the index so that we can filter out all the coins that do not have a potential to go up. Now, 80% of our money will go into the coins in the Tyfu index, and then 20% of the coins will go into the coins outside the Tyfu 30 index in our Tyfu investing system. And that 20% that goes into the coins outside the index, that 20% can be used to buy the coins like the Binance token, like the BNB token, okay, if you want to, right? Do I hold any BNB tokens? Yes, I do. Okay, but it's not a large position. Okay, now the second question is that do I rebalance every quarter and kick out all the lousy coins? Yes, we do. Every quarter, we remove the coins that are underperforming, okay? The Tyfu 30 crypto index, it automatically does it. At the end of the quarter, it automatically filters it out, okay? And then we just rebalance it. You guys can go here to the rebalance calculator. We are updating this calculator to make it so it's more accurate, right, and more detailed. But you can come in here, select the portfolio you want, and click on whether you're adding more money to your portfolio or removing it because you're taking profits and how much, and then it'll calculate it and you can rebalance, right, what your current portfolio is, the action that you need to buy or sell to rebalance, and what it's going to look like after you rebalance it, okay? Again, we are updating it, right, constantly so the math is accurate, okay? So use it as a guideline. It's not a law or anything like that, okay? So he has some questions about the actions here, right? He says to keep things simple, forget about other things and just follow the Tyfu index. I would say so, because the probability that you are going to beat the index is very, very slim, okay? And let me prove that to you guys, all right? You might be able to pick one good coin or two good coins out of every cycle, okay? However, the probability that you're gonna pick a good coin in every market cycle is extremely low, okay? So for example, in 2017, my biggest winner was NEO, okay? My biggest winner was NEO and Waves, okay? In 2016, it was Ethereum. In 2017, it was NEO and Waves, okay? And Stratus. And then in 2021, it was Cardano and PancakeSwap. Those are the coins that made the big lump of my money, okay? So, can I do that every time? The probability is extremely low, okay? So our Tyfu investing system is based on betting that the market goes up, okay? And so if we have this list, this criteria and this list here, what happens is that any coin that is gonna be a big winner, it's going to end up in the Tyfu 30 index. For example, Uniswap was a big winner, right? It ended up being in the Tyfu 30, okay? PancakeSwap was a big winner. It ended up going into the Tyfu 30, right? And then what other coins? Any coins that was a big winner in Solana, right? That would go into the Tyfu 30 index, okay? And the way that you would track that is you go here to the market data tab, right? And the top 30 coins here are the Tyfu 30 index, but if you look at the coins below the top 30, you monitor these, right? And you look at these coins and you're like, okay, these are the coins that have the potential to go into the Tyfu index. And if we invest into any coins, we usually invest into the coins that are outside the top 30, we look in that list of the top 100 coins, right? And those are the coins that we look to pick from, okay? So, now some people will say, hey Ty, if I wait until the coin goes into the Tyfu 30 index, then I will lose a bulk of the profits. For example, right, when I got into PancakeSwap, I bought it for an average of about 33 cents and I sold it for an average of about, I think like $28 or something like that, almost $30, okay? Yes, it did go up to $42 and I did sell as it was going up, but if you take the average cost of what I bought was under $1, I think, and then the average price that I sold, if I remember it correctly, was near $30, somewhere around $28 and something, okay? So yes, I sold, you know, at $5, $10, $20, $25, $30, $35, $40, $42. Yes, I sold all the way up. Okay, but if you take the average cost, okay, then that's where it would be, right? Did I buy at, you know, 30 cents, 35 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, $1, $2, $3, $4, $5? Yes, I did buy it at those. But if you take the average cost, I think it was like less than $1, okay? It's been so long, I can't remember, all right? I would have to look at my trade log to remember it, all right? So, we can buy the coins that have a huge potential to grow big, right? Outside the Tyfu 30 index. However, those coins, we don't make a very big bet size on it, okay? Because the probability that it goes down is higher than the probability of it going up higher, okay? So that's the reason, right? We bet big on the coins in the index because we want consistency, we want certainty. And then the coins that are outside the index, they don't have a lot of certainty, so we bet smaller on those, okay? If the index reaches the top 1/3, we sell. Well, let me just say, he says that if we reach the bottom green here, we buy, and that is true, okay? Now, the question here is this, Ty, how do you know that this is the bottom right here? The answer is I don't. The answer is nobody fucking knows where the bottom is at. The way that we know where the bottom is at is when it goes up to here and it sets new highs. Once it sets new highs, then we can look back and say, oh, this was the bottom, okay? But until it sets new highs, nobody knows where the bottom is, okay? If somebody tells you they know where the bottom is, you just look at them in the face and you tell them, hey, you're full of shit. You don't fucking know where the bottom is at, because if you did, you would bet the entire house on it, okay? And the fact that you are not betting the entire house on it shows that you don't know where the tops and the bottoms are, okay? So don't bullshit, you know, and say that you do, okay? Okay, so if you look at this, right, many of you guys think that you can do better than the index, right? And you just look down here at January 23rd, and you look right here, and you pull it up to the top up here, and the market has done about 79%. So you have to ask yourself, did your portfolio do 79% since the beginning of the year? Right? I'm talking about your entire portfolio. I'm not talking about a single coin. Did you pick a single coin that made, what do you call that? That made 79%, 80%, or 100%? Yes, that is possible. But did your entire portfolio go up 79%? I am willing to bet that it did not for the majority of the people. There might be a small handful of people that did, but I would say the bulk of the people did not. Okay? So, that's the reason why I say that, okay? So now, if the way that we draw these three, the three parts is we wait until the market goes to the peak and it drops more than 50%. Once it drops more than 50%, then we just draw the line, okay? And we just do that. Now, let me just get rid of the trend one, okay? So it just looks like that. So once we do that, we just pull it down here, and this has already been dropping from up here, right? It's dropped already over 67%, okay? Let me take the magnet off here. It has dropped already 68% from the top. So because of that, right, I'm very, very confident in buying in, okay? Now, can it turn around and drop lower? The answer is yes, it can, absolutely can, okay? But do we worry about that? The answer is no, okay? Because once it drops past 50%, we are okay with buying in, okay? Once it drops on the top down 50%, we look for places. And since it dropped down to here, we draw it out. And so now it's in the gray area, we don't do anything. So in the green area, we buy. In the gray, we just hold. We don't do anything. We don't buy, we don't sell, we don't do anything. And then in the red, now here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Listen up carefully. In the green, we buy. It doesn't matter if it's here. 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 We buy. But in the gray, right, the action that we do is that we hold. The action we do in the green is buy. In the gray, we just hold. We don't do anything. Now, what happens in the red? In the red, I say this 1,000 times, and I keep getting questions every day from our students. The red is a signal to think, not to do. Okay? In the green, it's a signal to think about buying and to do the actual buying. In the gray, it's to think about holding and to do the holding. Okay? But over here in the red, we think only. We don't do anything. We think about selling. Okay? So we look for opportunities for the market to give us an opportunity to sell and take profits. Okay? So because of that, we do not sell in the red. We think. We don't do. In the gray, we think about holding and we also do the holding action. In the green, we think about buying and we also do the buying action. But in the red, we only think only. We don't do the action itself, right? Until we find an opportunity, right, that gives us an opportunity. That opportunity might be here. That opportunity might be at 1,600 points. That opportunity might be at 1,800 points. That opportunity might be at 2,000 points. Okay? Here in the gray, we do not even think about selling. Here in the green, we do not even think about selling. Okay? But here in the red, we think about selling, but we don't actually do the selling action until the market gives us the opportunity. Okay? So that's the actions that we do, okay, in each of those 1/3. Okay, if you guys are one of our students, when you guys ask us about these 1/3, make sure that you ask us, in the question, when you refer to this 1/3, you say the bottom 1/3 in green, the middle 1/3 in gray, and the top 1/3 in red. Okay, make sure you mention that, because sometimes you guys ask me questions and you send me the question, hey, in this 1/3 here, I'm like, I don't even know which part you're talking about. Okay, so at least tell me what color or what portion, the top 1/3, the middle 1/3, or the bottom 1/3. Okay, so I'm gonna pause right here real quick. If you guys have any questions, right, I'm gonna tell you guys that, let me see. Okay, let me answer some of the questions that you guys have. Martin says, I'm visiting Vietnam in December for 2 months. How can I get connected with people who are in crypto? You gotta be really careful because there's a lot of scammers in Vietnam, so I'd be very careful, right? You would have to, whoever it is that you want to connect with, you would have to meet them online, or they have a reputation, and get a referral. I would not just randomly meet people, because there's a massive amount of scammers in Vietnam trying to steal your Bitcoins and your crypto. So be extremely careful about that. If you ask me for a referral, I'm not going to give you a referral because I don't know who you are. Okay. Genghis Khan says loud and clear. Osco.blog. Maybe it's early to ask, but how do you find the right people to be friends with to elevate your financial habits? Okay, that's a good question. The way that you find the right friends is that, first of all, you have to identify what it is that you want in your friends. Okay, for example, I like friends who like to make money. I don't like friends who like to be poor. Okay. There are people that like to eat mangoes. There are people that do not like to eat mangoes. There are people that like to eat durian fruit, and there are people that do not like to eat durian fruit because it stinks, okay? If you want friends, there are people that like to be poor. There are people that like to be rich, okay? So you gotta identify what kind of friends that you want. And then the second thing is, once you identify the kind of friends that you want, right, the next step is to quickly filter them out. If they don't match your criteria, filter them out, okay? For example, let's say that I want friends For example, I value friends that value math and science, like real math and science, not the bullshit, oh, you're a man with a dick and 2 balls, that you can be a woman. Like, that's not real fucking science. That's bullshit science, okay? So, to even use the word science when you talk about like the lady boys and shit, that's just stupid shit. Like, the word science should not even go with stupid stuff like that, okay? So whenever I hear stuff like that, it's like, okay, I don't want these guys as my friends. They're too fucking stupid, Like when I say that the COVID vaccine does not prevent the transmission of a virus, right? And people start arguing with me about that, and they don't give me any scientific evidence to prove that, right? Then that's not the kind of people I want friends. Like, I used to paint cars, paint boats for a living. The mask, the bullshit mask that we wear to prevent COVID, right? That does not do anything to protect any fucking goddamn virus. Okay, it does not. Why? Because the holes, the pores inside the mask are too big, right? If the holes inside the mask are this big and the virus, okay, is, let's say, for example, this big, right? This virus can go through the damn holes in the damn mask. So if you tell me that a mask with holes this big in it can stop something this big from going through, then you are a fucking idiot to me. If the hole is this big and you say that this cannot go through, then I would believe you. Okay? But if you sit there and argue with me and say that, something this small cannot go through a hole this big, then I'm going to say you're a fucking idiot. Okay? And I would not want you as friends. I would not want you on my team. I would not want you near me. You're too fucking stupid to see the shit that's in front of you, okay? So that's how you select friends. By, number 1, knowing the kind of friends that you want, and number 2, right, quickly filtering those out. Like, for example, right, like, it's very common when I hear somebody talking about America, about white people, and they hate white people, or they think that, America sucks or whatever, I quickly throw it out there. And I say, man, white people are the fucking greatest people in America. And I say that, man, Trump is amazing. He's going to go down to history as the greatest fucking president in American history. And I throw that out there on purpose because I listen to the response that person gives me. And if they say, oh, Trump is a fucking idiot, or he's stupid, or whatever, I know. See, that's the filter I use. I go, okay, this is a fucking idiot here. He likes to be broke. He likes to be ignorant. He likes to be uneducated, right? He likes to be a weak-ass man, okay? I'm not going to hang out with this dude. I'm not going to say more. Matter of fact, I purposely tell him even more. I said, man, I think Trump is going to win the next election. He's going to win 4 terms, even though I know that that's not possible. I'm going to tell him anyway, just to piss him off so he can go away, right? Because those are fucking idiots like that. Why would I want them as my friends for, right? If say somebody says that, Biden is a fucking idiot, right? I would say that, I would disagree with that either, right? Biden is an idiot right now because he has Alzheimer's. Biden is not a fucking idiot when he was younger, like in his 50s, in his 60s, his 30s, 40s, and 50s. He's been a politician in America for like half a century or something like that, right? He's not a fucking idiot, okay? Somebody calls him an idiot, I would say you're fucking stupid. If you call him senile and he's dumb as shit because he's a senile right now, then yes, that I would agree with. But he's not an idiot. Even though I don't like him, I would not call him an idiot, okay? He's a rich dude. He's a successful politician. Now, is he doing good stuff for America? I don't think so. Is he doing good stuff for the people that give him money? Yes, okay? So you would consider him a good politician, okay? So that's what you got to do, all right? So let me see. Osco says, we Mexicans would greet the aliens with some frijoles. Come on, Ty, right? Come on, man. Mexicans are good people, man, okay? They're very good people, okay? I'm not talking about the Mexican gangsters. I'm talking about regular Mexican people. Those are good-hearted people, man, right? I like Mexican people. I like Mexican food. I like Mexican music, right? I wish in the next life I would come back, I would be like if I could come back in the next life and choose what to be, I would probably choose to be like a Mexican guitar or something, man, because Mexican music, they make lots of amazing guitar music, man. Like some of the best, guitar music, right, comes from the Mexican culture. That's why I like it, right? And some of the best food come from the Mexican culture, like the pork. The barbecue pork that they cook, they bury it in the ground to cook it, man. Dude, I swear to God, that is that pork is so good, man, that when they grill it and they do it right, and you come out and you eat some of that barbecue pork that they put in the ground and they put coal in there and hot stones in there to cook it, right? By the time they cook it, man, that pork is so good that when you eat it, you automatically speak Mexican. You speak Spanish, man, okay? So you want to go learn some how to speak Mexican or speak Spanish very fast, go eat some of their food, man, because they got some of the most amazing food. When you talk about American food, the majority of it is Mexican food, man. Like the majority of the food in America is Mexican food, right? So let me see. Fong says, hey, Ty, have already mailed to prove the payment for the course in Vietnamese. Still pending for your reply. Okay, I don't know when you sent it, right? But everyone that sends me, right, I send a response within like an hour or two. So if you, if I received your email, I sent you a response, okay, and you have access to the course already. If you did not receive my email, you need to check in the spam email. Like, I'm kind of shocked that there are people that don't know that sometimes the email goes into the spam. So go check your spam email box and see if it's in there, right? If not, send me another email, okay? 100% of the students that register for our course and they say they didn't get anything from us, it's just a small percentage of students, okay? But it's usually the students don't check the spam email, okay? Look for the email cryptocurrency.market. Okay, search for cryptocurrency.market and you should find that email, right? Tina says that there's a 50% CGT in Australia. I assume she's talking about the tax, okay? ATX machine says scam. I don't know who or what he's talking about that's a scam. Osco says, thanks for the great answer on choosing your friends. It's so crystal clear now. Yeah, a lot of people just don't want to say no to their friends. Like when I was young, we live in this world, guys, where we get friends by default instead of by choice, right? What I teach my students, right, and what I teach to people is to choose friends instead of selecting friends by default, okay? What are friends by default, okay? What is the difference between friends by default and friends by choice? Friends by default means that when we go to school, that guy is in class with us or that girl is in class with us, so we just automatically become friends with them by default because they're in the same class with us. We go to church, we go to the temple, we go to the mosque, and that person happens to be there. We see them every week, so we make friends with them by default. Okay? That is not friends by choice. The way that I make friends is I make friends by choice. The reason why I still broadcast on this channel, even though I've already made life-changing profits and I retire, is because this channel allows me to make friends by choice. That is the number one reason that we still have our channel. We still create courses to sell because it's not to make money, it's to give us access. The most important thing that you need as a strong masculine man, right, is to have access. Money is not enough to create access. Money is one type of tool that gives you access to other people. Another way to give access to other people is influence. If you have a channel, a social media channel with 30,000 people following you, 100,000 people following you, 1 million people following you, you have a lot of social capital, okay? You have a lot of integrity, you have a lot of reputation, and that makes it easier to give you access to other people. So our channel, even though when we sell the courses, we actually lose money, okay? We actually lose money. Let me explain to you guys why we lose money. Because we work on the course, we work 10, 12, 14 hours a day. If we did that on Wall Street, my salary would be $150,000 a year. My business partner, David, would be $150,000 a year. My business partner, the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned LeonFood.com, his salary would be $200,000 a year. So if you do the math, 150 plus 150 is $300,000, and plus another $200,000 would be $500,000. We would have to sell over $500,000 worth of courses each year in order to break even. That's not to make a profit, that's just to break even, okay? So right now, in 2023, I think we sold about $350,000 worth of courses so far. That is a fucking loss for us. That is not a profit. Okay, because if we put in the same amount of labor and the same amount of work and did work on Wall Street right now, we would make at least $500,000. So some of the dumbasses out there that say that we make money selling courses, we don't make money from trading and investing in crypto, right? They are a fucking bunch of dumbasses, okay? Because do we make money from selling courses? Yes, but it's probably less than 1% of our entire income because it's not a lot of money. Now, what we do is we take that money and we pay for the software engineers. So we got about 8 people on our team right now that's on our payroll that we pay to build our Tyfu portfolio manager right here. Everything that you see on this website, there's 8 guys in the background building it right now. That does not include me, Leon, and David. If you include us in there, there's 11 guys working on this Tyfu portfolio manager so we can manage our portfolio. We would not be paying the salaries for 8 people if we did not use this software to make us life-changing profits, okay? We are not paying those salaries for fun every month, okay? We are paying for it because we need that software to scale our portfolio. Most people don't realize it, but one human being can make about $200,000 a year. If you want to make more than $200,000 a year, you have to have 2 things. One is either you have to have a team of people to help you grow and expand and scale, or you need software to do it for you, or the combination of both. We are not good at managing teams. We are not good at managing people, right? So we just have a small team of software developers, and they build the software for us down here. They build this software for us, so we use the software in place of using people, okay? If you look at the top fund managers like Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett, they have thousands of people working for them, okay? You need hundreds and thousands of people working for you if you plan on managing a portfolio that has billions of dollars in it. If you don't want to manage hundreds and thousands of people to help you invest your money, then you need to invest into building software or something. There's something that's going to help you scale, because one human being can only do about $200,000 a year. Once in a blue moon, you might find a human being that's exceptionally talented, and they might get paid like $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, or even $1 million a year. But that number of talented people in this world is an extremely, 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 extremely small percentage of people. Some of you guys might say, hey Ty, if you're Silicon Valley, there's 1,000 people there making $1 million a year income, or $500,000 a year income, and you might be right. But guess what? That is still a small percentage of the human population. It's a tiny, tiny percentage, okay? You cannot rely on being one of those talented people, okay? And I cannot tell you how to be talented like that, because most of those people are genetically gifted. It's genetics. It has nothing to do with what you do, right? I prefer to go the route that I'm going because I am a dumbass fucking goddamn refugee from a small fishing village in Vietnam, and I dropped out of high school and I went to prison for almost 14 years. And by selecting and choosing quality friends that are smart in math and science and finances and economics and entrepreneurship, I have been able to assemble a team of very talented people to help me become a millionaire. Okay, so that's the formula that I know how to teach to other people and know how to share with other people. I don't know how to be born genetically gifted like Bill Gates or like an Elon Musk or like a Tim Cook or like a Steve Jobs. I don't know how to teach someone to be genetically gifted like that, okay? I know how to teach someone, I know how to share with some other people how a dumbass refugee like me who came to America, who dropped out of high school in the 11th grade and went to prison for 14 years, how does that person get rich? How does that person get wealthy? That I have experience in, that I know how to share with other people, and I've helped like over 100 people become millionaires already, okay? Now, those are the people that have texted me or called me and thanked me for helping them become a millionaire, okay? I did not send a goddamn licensed accountant to go audit them to make sure that they're telling me the truth, okay? So I'm just sharing with you guys what I know. What else? What other questions do you have? Osco says your filter is pretty solid. I will start refining mine. Awesome. Okay. Khan in Saigon says, what if there's a life-changing profit opportunity presented in the gray middle 1/3? What would we do? Okay. If you are in the middle 1/3 and you have an opportunity to make life-changing profits, like for example, right? If you have, let's say you need $200,000 to retire and to change your life, to quit your job and stay home with your wife and kids, right? And you're in the gray area. You're in this area right here. Let's say you have 300,000 or 400,000 here, and you say, hey man, if I take out 200,000 out of that $300,000 portfolio and I can retire right here, right now, and quit my job right now, right? You don't have to ask me, okay, because we are here to make life-changing profits. If you need $200,000 and you can quit working for the rest of your life and just live off the 5% interest that they pay in the Vietnam banks, right? Then don't be a fucking dumbass and not take profits, right? Don't be a fucking dumbass and listen to Ty and not change your life. If you have an opportunity to change your life, right, then do it. Don't wait, don't ask me for permission, don't wait for my approval. Now, I will say this, if you invested money to buy our cryptocurrency investing blueprint so you can learn to build the Tyfu investing system, right? I would highly recommend that you pick up the damn phone and give me a call so we can figure it out. Okay, so we can figure it out that, hey, you know what? If you say that, hey, Ty, this is my goal and the market is giving me an opportunity right now, today, during this live stream, I have an opportunity to make life-changing profits and change my life. What do you think about this? Do you see any risk in me doing this? Give me a fucking call. Don't be a fucking dumbass and sit there and talk to a coconut tree or talk to a mango tree for advice or to see what to do, right? I am not a licensed financial advisor in any country. I cannot give you any fucking advice, but I can tell you this. I can look at your situation because I've been through it, and I can tell you this is what I would do or this is what I would not do. I don't know what you should do or what you should do or what you could do, but I can tell you that under those circumstances, this is what I would do. I'm not giving you financial advice because I'm not a licensed financial advisor in any fucking country, okay? I dropped out of high school in the 11th grade and I went to prison for almost 14 years. So there is no government that is going to give me a license for anything, for insurance, for real estate, for financial advice, for commodities, nothing. I am not qualified to receive a license from any government in any country because I have a drug felony in America. So I can tell you what I do, but I cannot tell you what you can do. But it does not cost anything if you are already one of our students, right? You can, if you give me a call, I'm not going to say no, right? If I can talk on the phone with you guys and help you guys, make if I can inspire you guys to retire early, shit, why not? It doesn't cost me anything, right? I'm happy for you, okay? The worst thing that you can do is have an opportunity to make life-changing profits right here in the gray, and you go ask your parents, you go ask your dumbass friends, you go ask your inexperienced coworkers, you ask your inexperienced uncles, aunts, brothers, and sisters. If they don't know how to make life-changing profits in the cryptocurrency market, you should not be talking to them. You should be talking to people that know and have experience how to make life-changing profits in the cryptocurrency market. Stop listening to dumbasses that don't have any experience or knowledge about it, okay? Don't do that. That is very dumb and that's very stupid. That's the reason why it took me so long. It took me 44 years of my life to make my first $1 million. Why did it take so long? Why do I have Vietnamese students that are 25, 26 years old that made $1 million in America? In Vietnam. Why do I, and around the world too, not just in Vietnam, why do I have 30-year-old students that have made $1 million at 30 years old, 25 years old? And it took this dumbass 44 years to make the first $1 million. The reason is because I listen to inexperienced people and people that do not have knowledge about investing, about building a business, about entrepreneurship, about making $1 million, because they have no clue, no experience, and have never done it before, okay? I have done it. Every one of the guys on my team have done it, right? And we have helped at least 100 people, over 100 people do it already on our channel. So we have experience in doing this shit, okay? We're not just talking out the side of our ass, okay? Let me see, what else? DeFi Crypto Vietnam says, hi Ty, my portfolio is 40,000, invested in the top 15 Tyfu coins. My goal is to walk away from the bull market with 200,000. In your opinion, do you think it's doable? I believe so. I believe so. $40,000 is a lot of money. Like, when I first started investing in the cryptocurrency market, I only started with $1,600. I started with $1,600, okay, back in 2013, and I'm retired today. So if I started with $1,600 and was able to retire, right, I don't see why you could not, right? Now, are you going to do it in this bull market? I don't know, because I am not psychic. I am not a fortune teller. I'm not psychic, right? I don't know, and I don't know anybody that knows. But if you ask me, Ty, is there a high probability that I can do it, right? I would say yes, because we helped about 20 students retire early, and they each made about $200,000, and they retired early in Vietnam. And those students had way less than $40,000, significantly less. Most of them had between $5,000 to $10,000 to invest into the market, and they were able to retire early. Okay, so $40,000 is a lot of money, of a lot of capital to invest. Okay, Tina says it's the capital gains tax. Okay, yeah, okay, CGT, right? I'm just used to calling it capital gains. I forgot that was the abbreviation. Thanks for the reminder, Tina. Okay, so Donald in Tampa, Florida, right? Beautiful beaches there, guys. If you want beautiful beaches in America, you cannot beat the Clearwater Beach. That's the name of the beach. It's called Clearwater, and it's in the city of Tampa. Unbelievable. That has to be one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, okay? At Clearwater in Tampa, Florida, okay? My wife and I wanted to build a house there and live there and retire there in Tampa, Florida, okay? However, it did not make sense to me. Okay, it did not make sense because Vietnam has 1,300 miles of coastline of beachfront property. It did not make sense for me to buy a beach in America, and when I can do the exact same thing at a lower cost and have a better quality of life in Vietnam or in Thailand. My wife is from Thailand. There's beautiful, amazing beaches in the city of Pattaya, in the city of Phuket, in the city of Canterbury, right? Lots of beautiful beaches in Vietnam, and there's no reason for us to pay 2 or 3 times that cost to live in a beautiful beach in Tampa, okay? Now, if you guys, I'm gonna share the secret, and I know I got a couple of friends that's gonna kill me for this, all right? They're gonna hate my guts for revealing, exposing this truth, okay, about America, okay? Next to Tampa, Florida, right, one of the most beautiful, most exceptionally, ungodly beautiful beaches in America is in a place called Orange Beach, Alabama. It's near Tampa, okay, it's near Tampa. okay? It's near Tampa. It's in that region, right? It's near Pensacola Beach, okay? And there's a place called Orange Beach. The reason why you don't hear a lot about it, okay? The reason why you don't hear a lot about it is because there's a bunch of hillbillies there, a bunch of white people. And hillbillies, in case you don't live in America or don't know about America, hillbillies are a group of white people in America that are considered very country. Very, very country. Whenever they talk, you know, they talk just like I'm talking right now, and they just some real hillbilly rednecks. And whenever they talk down there, everybody in the city will make fun of them. Like if I talk like the way I do right now, right, I will fit right in Alabama and in the Orange Beach, okay? There's another name for that area, okay? Let me see. Let me search for it real quick. If you guys, right, next to Orange Beach, there's another one. I remember the first time I went down to Orange Beach, right, I couldn't believe how beautiful it was, right? I couldn't believe how beautiful it was, right? Oh, there's next to Orange Beach, because Alabama and Florida, there's a little section where they border each other. There's a section called Perdido Key, okay? So Perdido Beach, right? Perdido Key, right? Let me just sit here for a moment, guys. Let me just sit here for a moment, because, right, there are some things in nature that is just so ungodly beautiful that you just have to think twice about it, right? And Orange Beach is one of those places. Now, like I said, right, that's where all the real country hillbilly rednecks in America go. Okay, so black people, they don't like to go there because it's really country, right? And it's a lot of hillbillies there, right? Mexican people, they don't know about it because it's too far from the Mexican border, right? White people, they don't like to go there. The white people from the big cities, they don't like to go there because, one, they don't know about it, and number two, the ones that do know about it, they consider real country, okay? But if you want beautiful beaches that the water goes out for as far as the human eye can see, and it's clear and warm and beautiful, and the water's very shallow, so when you take your kids and your family out there, right, you don't have to worry about getting robbed, getting mugged, right, when you go out there, because it's a beautiful, clean beach. And you go out there, you can go out for like as far as the human eye can see. I'm not kidding. And the water's just to your waist or to your chest. That's how beautiful, how warm. And the sand there is ungodly beautiful. It is white sand. When you touch it, I don't know what the molecular structure of the sand there is at Orange Beach, at Perdido Key, and at Tampa, and at all that area. The sand just falls off. It doesn't stick to your body even when you sweat. I don't know. If there is a heaven on earth, right, I would think that those areas would be the heavens, okay? Unfortunately, not too many people know about it. If you are living in America and you want to live near the beach and retire, you should consider Orange Beach, Alabama, and Perdido Key, Florida. Okay, they're right next to the border of Florida and Alabama. Okay, now the downside, the reason why I could not go and live down there is because of one primary reason. I had 3 heart attacks already, so I cannot live in a place. My cardiologist does not want me to live near a place that's far from a big hospital. Okay, so that's why I have to live near a big city. Like, it's got to be over a million people or higher in that area for me to live there, because it has all the hospital infrastructure in case I have a heart attack or something. Okay, so that's the reason why. Now, the other downside of Orange Beach and the beaches in Alabama and Florida is that it's in a hurricane alley. So for 3 or 4 months out of the year, you're going to be hit with hurricanes, okay? I don't give a shit about that. I used to live in Houston in the Galveston area, and there's lots of hurricanes that hit there. In America, we call them hurricanes. Outside of America, they call it typhoons, okay? So it's the same thing. A typhoon and a hurricane is the same thing, okay? It's just what part of the world it's in, okay? I would say that I would not worry about that. I would just build a strong house there, and I would just live there, okay? All right, back to the questions here. If you guys have a chance, go down there and check out the beaches in Tampa, okay? Oh, the one side, why didn't I, Tampa is a big enough city for us to have infrastructure in, you know, hospital infrastructure. Why didn't my family and I build a house and just live there in Tampa? The reason, there's one thing that is a negative about Tampa I don't like, and it may have changed now because of the COVID, but in the past, right, they have a, what's called a, Tampa is one of the big migration cities in America where all the snowbirds are older people that are retired. They don't work anymore, and during the winter when it gets cold in the north, they come down, they migrate to the south like the birds do, like the snowbirds. They migrate to a warmer area, and the #1 city in America that they go to is Tampa. So what happens is, for like a portion of the year, there's a large population increase, like it doubles, triples, quadruples. It's just like millions of people just come there, and then when it gets warm again, then they all leave to go back to the north, okay? Now, that is one thing I do not like about Tampa, okay? Beautiful beaches, but that's one culture that I do not like. I do not like the snowbird culture, okay? Why is it that I don't like it? The reason why I don't like it is because it is not an innovative culture, okay? The older people that come there, they're done with life. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to invent new companies, new startups, new businesses, new inventions. They don't want to do anything. They just want to go there and just lay in the sun. When it's cold up north, they just want to come down to Tampa and just lay in the sun, and then they go back home. You cannot build friendships with them. You cannot build allies with them. You cannot do anything with them because they are done with life. They're done. They don't want to do anything. Right? And I did not want my kids to grow up in an environment where the majority of the population does not want to do anything. To me, it creates a lazy culture. I don't like living in a lazy culture, okay? The people of Tampa are not lazy. They are like regular Americans. They want to work hard. They want to grow, but that population is small compared to the population of snowbirds that come there, right? And they come and go, and then I don't like it when the snowbirds come there and they don't have a long-term mindset, meaning that they are not investing into the streets, the infrastructure, the landscape, the schools, the infrastructure of that city. Right? For example, like you go to San Diego, you go to Dallas, you go to Houston, you go to other cities, you go to Miami, you go to Orlando. People come there to live. And so when they come there to live, what do? They invest into that city, right? They build stuff, and they're proud of their city. Whereas when I talk to the snowbirds and I meet them, they don't want to be your friends, they don't want to be your allies, and they don't give a fucking shit about the damn city. They just want to go there and benefit from the city, from the beauty of the city, and they just leave. They don't want to do nothing, and I don't like that. I don't like that type of temporary mindset culture. That's the reason why I did not end up building a house there, okay, to retire. Let me see, Osco.blog. He asks, if you were to have less than 100,000 in your portfolio, would you be able to make $1 million in the next bull market? Hey guys, you guys need to stop asking me these bullshit questions. They're fucking bullshit questions. Why are they bullshit questions? Because I told you guys there's two things that nobody knows the answer to in trading and investing. Number one, they don't know when. Nobody knows when. Hey, when's the market going up, Ty? I don't fucking know. Nobody knows. Warren Buffett doesn't know. Ray Dalio doesn't know. Hey, Ty, when is the market going down? I don't know. Warren Buffett doesn't know. The Honorable Grandmaster, LeonFu.com, he does not know. Does Ray Dalio know? No. Does Peter Lynch know? No. Okay, nobody fucking knows when the market's gonna go up or when it's gonna go down. The second question that nobody knows in the market is how much. Hey Ty, how much profit am I gonna make when the market goes up? Fuck, nobody knows. How would somebody know that shit? Like, why would you ask some stupid bullshit question like that for? You have an opportunity to ask a multi-million-dollar trader, and you go ask him the dumbest fucking question that nobody knows the answer to. Why would you ask that question for? If there's any jackass out there that tells you they know the answers to when the market's gonna go up or down and how much profit they're gonna make, they're full of shit. They are full of shit. If guys that open their mouth and say, oh, this is guaranteed, right? Fucking, it's guaranteed, you're a fucking idiot. That's the only guarantee there is for saying something stupid like that, okay? So don't ask stupid questions that people know that cannot answer, okay? If you ask me, if you have less than $100,000, is there a high probability is there a chance or a probability I can make $1 million in the next bull market, right? The chances are high, but I don't know. The chances are high. I mean, it's higher than a guy that only has $50,000. It's higher than a guy that only has $10,000. It's higher than a guy that only has $1,000. Now, if you have $100,000, but you don't have a trading system or you don't have an investing system, right? Then the chances are not very high, right? You can increase the chances by, pulling out $2,000, 2% of it, that's nothing, right? And you take that $2,000, you go and invest it into the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, and you build an entire system that increases the probability. That increases the probability, right? Because the problem is this. Sometimes you guys are investing money in the wrong places. The first thing that I would always invest money into is myself. The first thing that I would do is I would always invest, if I have a chance to make a profit on a coin or on a stock or make a profit in myself, I would invest that money into myself. Think about this. Your money, $100,000 in the US, goes up to $1 million. That means you have $900,000 of taxable income, of taxable profit. You're going to have to give almost half of that to the government. Think about that. Most people are okay with giving $400,000 or $500,000 to the government, but then they bitch and complain about investing $2,000 of their money to learn how to build a consistently profitable investing system from a multi-million-dollar profitable trader or investor. That is like the dumbest fucking goddamn, what do you call that? That is the dumbest thinking that I can possibly think of. Right? I have never in my life lost a single dollar investing money into myself and into increasing my knowledge. Okay? Now, I might invest into this training program and I might not make a profit back from it right away. I might invest into this program and not make a profit right away. I might invest into this program and not make a profit right away. But if you add up all the training programs that I have invested into in my life, I have made 100 times, 1,000 times way more than that in the end, over the long term. Okay? So I am not scared to invest into myself. Right now, I am paying money out of my own pocket. Out of my own pocket, I am paying money for my two business partners, the Honorable Grandmaster LeonFu.com and my other business partner, David, to go to Dubai. Right now, as we're talking, they're in Dubai, right? And they are talking to lawyers, they are talking to accountants, they are talking to fund managers, and they're talking to other rich people, and they're also talking to other millionaires, right? Decamillionaires, centillionaires, right? And they are talking to them to learn how our team can scale our portfolio. So while right now I'm running my mouth with you guys and answering student questions in the live stream right now, my business partners and my team members are out in Dubai trying to figure out how to take our team to the next level, right? And that costs us money. That costs money. Lawyers cost usually $250 an hour to $1,200 an hour. Okay? That is the price that we have paid for lawyers, right, in the past. Accountants. It's rare to find an accountant that charges less than $100 an hour. Okay? So we talk to lots of lawyers, accountants, business consultants, all kinds of people to help scale our portfolio to the next level. So we invest heavily into our, right now, I would say that our team probably invest. I don't call it spending because it's not a waste of money. I call it investing. When I pay for these lawyers, these accountants, and these fund managers to talk to us, I call it an investment because it is an investment into ourselves, into our knowledge, okay? We can go up to here, but in order for us to go higher, we have to increase our knowledge before we can go higher. That's how money works. That's how the money game works, okay? And right now, I would say, I don't know. If you talk about an average, okay? Average. Every year, I would say that we easily spend over $50,000 a year. Every year, okay? And that's on the low, that's a minimum, all right? Some years it's 100, some years it's 150,000, okay? But that's a minimum, okay? Let me see. I know in 2022, I remember, I think I probably invested at least $30,000 on myself. Okay, just myself. That's not including David or Leon. Just myself, I probably invested like $30,000. Okay, so whenever somebody bitches and complains that, you know, about buying a $2,000 course, you know, to learn from a multi-million-dollar trader and investor, right? To me, those are weak-ass people that need to go somewhere else to watch. Okay. Osco.blog asks, would it make more sense to sell at the point where you can move to and retire to a low cost of living country? It depends upon what your goals are, man. I don't know what your goals are, right? So, Osco, if I was living in the U.S. right now, if I have a job where I have to show up to the office, then I really cannot relocate. But if I have a job where I can work remotely and make money, right, I would relocate to Vietnam, to Malaysia, to Thailand, to the Philippines. I would relocate to Southeast Asia because it's safe, the quality of life is much better, and you get so much more value for your money. The women here are more feminine. The food here tastes amazing. You get more value for each dollar of your money. You get more value for each dollar of your rent, right? Everything you do in Southeast Asia, you get more value for your money. So to me, it's worth it. Like if you can make like $50,000 a year or higher remotely, I would seriously consider relocating to Asia, okay? If you can move from Texas to Florida, or from New York to Florida, or from California to Texas, you can just simply move to another country and live a better life, okay? You know, the world is so global now. You guys, I'm sitting in Bangkok, you know, I'm trying to build a house in Vietnam, right? My business partners are over there, you know, studying so they can learn how to, doing research to scale our portfolio and our business in Dubai right now. You guys are sitting in San Diego, in Australia, in Japan, in Korea, and in Europe listening to me right now. There's absolutely no reason that you should be scared to move to another country, okay? Everyone is trying to compete and get more people into their country that makes money, that are not criminals. If you are not a criminal, you have a good job, you're making good income, I would highly recommend you consider relocating. If you have the balls and the courage to move to another state, just move to another country that offers you a better quality of life, right? You can be loyal to your country, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, but I would highly recommend that you be loyal to your family first. You know, look for the country that gives you the best benefits for your family first. The reason why I had to leave America is even though I like America, I love America, America has helped me a lot, you know, it has helped me a lot, right? It also hurt me a lot, right? Put me in prison for 14 years for shit that I didn't fucking do, right? Yeah, it hurt me a lot, but it also helped me a lot too. I have amazing friends and allies in America. But the one thing, right, is that I will never, ever, 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 ever get, okay, is that no matter what I do, no matter how rich I get, right, I will never get 100% the American privilege that I can get simply because I am Asian. Okay, the majority of America is 70% white. Okay, and since I am not white, I will never get the privilege that white people get in America. No matter how smart, how much money I make, how many Lambos I own, right? I will never get that. Okay, and I can clearly see that when I come back to Thailand and I come back to Vietnam. Unfortunately, right, I was born a Vietnamese, and since I was born in Vietnam and I speak Vietnamese and I eat Vietnamese food and I understand Vietnamese culture and I'm a wealthy guy, the country that gives me the absolute highest privilege for a human being is in Vietnam for me. If you are born a Vietnamese and you speak Vietnamese and you understand Vietnamese culture, the absolute highest privilege and the best privilege that you can ever get, okay, if you have money, you have wealth, and you are Vietnamese, is in Vietnam. I mean, that's just that is what I observe. Now, I could be wrong about that. I could see it differently, but you know, the majority of my students that have made life-changing profits, they have come back to live in Vietnam. Like all my students that are making life-changing profits, the first thing they want to do is come back to Vietnam because they all know that no matter what country that they originally made their job income or their skills or they learn, sooner or later they come back to Vietnam because they know that that's where they get the most privilege as a human being. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you guys, right? Okay, Fong says he already found the email. I am shocked that it took him that long to look in the spam email. Okay, so after this live stream, Fong, give me a call. And we'll catch up. Okay, Lee in Da Nang says that enjoying the beautiful sunny beach. What are you coming to Da Nang? When? Okay, I'm going to go and teach the communications course in Vietnam because there's a huge demand from our students that want me to teach them how to communicate better, right? So I'm going to do a quick workshop for like a week in Saigon for that, so that to teach guys how to go out there and talk in the business environment, talk to girls, talk to other people in the corporate world, how to communicate effectively, okay? So I will do that. And then after that, I will go to Da Nang. Tran says paradoxically, right? Many rich Vietnamese families still want to send their kids to the West to study and find somehow to get citizenship. Can you elaborate on this? Okay, yeah, because they are doing that not because to increase the quality of their life. The rich people in Vietnam, they focus on face. And if you can send your kids to a Western country to study, right, or get citizenship, you have a lot of face. So they're doing that for face. They're not doing that for quality of life, right? Unless you consider having face is a better quality of life. If your ruler, if your measuring tape, right, if your measuring ruler is that when you have more face, you have a better quality of life, then yes, that would be considered correct. Then that would be, a good strategy to send your kids out. But I don't give a fuck about having face. I give a shit about having a quality of life. To me, whether I have face or not does not make any difference to me, because that does not do anything to increase my quality of life, okay? My quality of life, what I consider a quality of life is the food that I eat, the exercise that I can get, the beautiful environment that I can live in. Like in Vietnam, there is amazing hills, amazing mountains, amazing landscapes, amazing rivers that are beautiful. Now, are there dirty rivers? Are there dirty neighborhoods? Are there dirty landscapes? Yes, there are, okay, because it's a developing country. However, I'm a wealthy dude. I'm not living in those neighborhoods. So it's irrelevant, right? Are there poor neighborhoods in America? Are there ugly neighborhoods in America? Yeah, like the ghetto that I grew up in the downtown city of Port Arthur. It's ugly as shit. It is an ugly ass city. Like even if they give the land away, nobody wants it. Even if you give the land away, nobody wants to live there because it's freaking ugly, okay? Like, for example, there's areas of Chicago, there's areas of Detroit, right? In Detroit, there's neighborhoods that are so ugly and so dangerous that the government gives away a mansion. Can you imagine that? A big old giant villa, a mansion that's like 1,000 square meters, like 10,000 square feet mansions, 5,000 square feet mansions for $1. It's so ugly and it's so dangerous in the neighborhood that they are willing to give you a multi-million-dollar house for $1. Okay? So you can go live there. So they can have people, so they can collect taxes from you. Okay? That's how dangerous it is in some cities in America. Even if you try your hardest, you cannot even find a single neighborhood or a single city in Vietnam, in Laos, in Cambodia, in Thailand, in Myanmar, in Indonesia, in the Philippines that is that dangerous, okay? That the government is willing to give you an entire house and land and everything for $1, okay? They don't have dangerous places like that in Asia, okay? So when we talk about quality of life, I want to live in a place where my 80-year-old grandmother or my 80-year-old mom can walk out in the streets and I don't worry about her getting robbed, getting mugged, and getting violently assaulted, okay? Those, to me, that's a safe neighborhood, okay? And all my students that are Vietnamese, they cannot wait. As soon as they make a profit, the first thing they want to do is come home and live in Vietnam. So I'm just sharing you with guys what my students say. I don't, I have a few hundred students. That's not, a large number. I don't have like 1 million Vietnamese students. I just have a few hundred Vietnamese students. And most of them, that's what they tell me. That as soon as they make a profit, their goal is to come back and live in Vietnam. Okay? So Osco says, strongly considering moving to Southeast Asia since my job is remote. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Thanks for the candid answer. Maybe I'll see you in Thailand. Awesome. Okay, Bangkok. Dude, I swear to God, Bangkok, if you guys think that New York City is amazing, right? You are going to shit in your pants when you come to Bangkok. I say this to my business partners, my teammates, all the time, and my students, right? When I grew up in Texas, I dreamed of going to live and work in New York City. I was so disappointed when I went to New York City to work on Wall Street. I was so disappointed. It was not what I imagined, okay? Bangkok is the New York that I always imagined growing up, okay? People ask me why I love Bangkok and why I bought $1 million condo here on the riverfront in Bangkok, because Bangkok is the New York City that I always imagined. Bangkok is the Los Angeles that I always imagined. Bangkok is the Chicago that I always imagined it to be when I was growing up, okay? New York is not the New York City that I imagined growing up, okay? Bangkok is the New York City that I always imagined. If you guys love food, man, I don't know of another city. I don't know of another city that has food like Bangkok, okay? Let me see, what other question? Chong Win, in one of our students in Australia, in Melbourne, he says, I want to relocate to Da Nang too. Yeah, absolutely, right? Absolutely. Sugatu says, is the Blueprint version 3 in English coming soon, or you think there's no need for version 3? No, there's no need for version 3 yet, because most of the things that we cover are in the version 2 of the English, so I would not wait for that, right? Just get the version 2, and then the version 4 that's coming out, I highly believe that version 4 will be in English first, okay? So Donald Alfredo says, yeah, looking forward to retiring to Southeast Asia. Tampa, US, etc. has become too expensive and the quality of life is deteriorating. Exactly. Exactly. Right? Chong says, Icon Siam. Yeah, that's where I live. I live like 2 blocks from Icon Siam, which is like the most luxurious shopping center in Southeast Asia. Okay? All right, let me answer some of these other questions for my Malaysian student, and then I'll wrap it up. Okay? He says that when we get into the second region here, right, my mindset should be to wait and get ready to sell. No. We do not wait and get ready to sell here. We wait and we get ready to sell here, right? Here we're just neutral. In the gray, we're just neutral. What's the difference between waiting and being neutral? Because waiting and getting ready to sell means that you are, okay, waiting and getting ready to sell, right, means that, okay, waiting and getting ready to sell means that you're cocking the hammer and you're getting ready. And that's not what we should be doing in the gray area, right? In the gray area, we should not be like, we should not be cocking this back and getting ready to shoot. That's not what we should be doing, right? In the gray area, we should not be doing anything like that, okay? We should just put the gun down, okay? We should not do anything, okay? Whenever we go into the red area, right? Whenever we go into the red area, that is when we pick the gun up. That's when we pick it up, okay? That's when we pick it up. And then whenever the price gets up to the all-time highs, right? It gets up to here, that's when we, load it, okay? That's when we get ready to shoot it, okay? That's when we do it. Because now, as soon as we see that wild pig, as soon as we see that deer, we're going to pull the trigger, okay? But we're not going to do that at the moment. Hey, Tina, can you get Daddy a coffee? Okay. Right? So that, if you guys wonder why I have all these guns back here, because I love guns and I use it to explain lessons that's easier for me to teach that are abstract. Okay? So that's when we do it. All right? Now, our Malaysian student asked us about the opportunity trade strategy. So remember, there's three strategies we use: the index, the opportunity trades, and the staking, right? The opportunity trades, many of our students are getting confused, okay? The opportunity trades are for two reasons. It's for coins, that money is for coins that are outside the crypto, the Tyfu index. If the coin is already in the Tyfu index, we don't need to buy more of it, okay? The opportunity trades in the future, when we come out with the version 4.0 of the course, right? I might consider changing it. If you guys have a better name for it, it's for, the money is used for coins that are outside the index. Okay, now, I don't want to say that because it's so damn long. That's why I called it opportunity trades. And it's also for coins that sometimes some crazy shit happens in the market. It happens like 2 to 4 times every month. We're not always going to be there in front of the computer when it happens. But when it does happen, it creates an opportunity for us and we can jump in. For example, when I bought this condo, right, out of nowhere, the Wall Street Bet Forum is a stock forum, and they were talking about pumping the price of that movie theater, okay, AMC. And then when they pumped it, right, to squeeze out all the shorts, right, they pumped it, and then when they made a ton of money on it, they turned around and they said, hey, let's pump the price of Doge, right? And at that time, I was like, I didn't know if they were bullshitting or they could do it, but then I saw the volume in Doge go from like 30, 40 million a day up to like 100 million, 200 million, 500 million, a billion, 2 billion. And I was like, oh shit, they really are pumping the price of this and everybody's pouring in. So I made a trade and within 30 hours, right, I made $1 million. And actually it was like 700 and something thousand of my money. And then the other like 200 and something thousand was from the commissions from my clients, the profit sharing from my clients, right, that I was trading their money. And so I made a percentage of that. So the percentage of the money from the performance fees for managing the money from my clients and then the money from my own money, right, combined, I made $1 million. And that's how I bought this $1 million condo in on the riverfront in there. Now I did that in less than 30 hours, right? Now that is an opportunity trade. Okay, so that's an example of an opportunity trade. Okay, so a Malaysian student says that if I have money, what should I do? Right? If we're in the gray here, what should we do? And I'm going to answer this again, guys. I've said this so many goddamn times, you know, it's fucking, I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand this shit, okay? This is not an area that we want to buy. It's not a low risk area. Why is it not low risk? Because if we buy right now, if the market crashes 50%, we are going to be in massive pain, okay? And then there are coins that we buy, emotionally it's going to hurt too much, okay? So we buy down here in the lower area so that if the market crashes, then we just buy more. The market crashes more, we just buy more, right? Now, if we buy here, some of you guys, I want you guys to listen carefully, okay? I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to buy. But I know that some of you dumbasses out there, you're too fucking hard-headed and too stubborn to listen. You think you know everything, and you're going to buy some crypto regardless of what I say. So in this case, for those stubborn idiots out there and those dumbasses out there, right, that are too stubborn to fucking listen, right, then the only coin that I would recommend buying is Bitcoin, right, is Bitcoin. Why is that? Because when you are late, the only coin that you should buy is Bitcoin, is because, right, I don't recommend you buying anything, but if you are going to buy something, I only recommend Bitcoin. Why? Because if it crashes 50% down here, at least you are holding a coin that has a chance to go back up. Out of the thousands of cryptocurrencies on the market, the coin with the highest probability to go back up after it crashes 50, 60, 70, 80% is Bitcoin. So I know that there's a bunch of you guys out there that are too fucking stubborn. Your head is too hard, okay? And you won't listen. And you're going to buy some crypto anyway. And for those people, I would say only do Bitcoin, okay? Only do Bitcoin, right? Anytime you're not sure, just buy Bitcoin, right? If you're going to buy, just buy Bitcoin. Now, there are some people that are new to the portfolio. You might have just watched this video for the very first time and you say, hey Ty, I've never bought crypto in my life, okay? Or I never had the money. I've been waiting and my parents just died, you know, and they gave me an inheritance. Or, hey, I did not know this, but the tax department just sent me a refund. Or, hey, I didn't know that I can collect early retirement, and so now the government allowed me to take an early retirement, so now I got this. Or, hey, I got my arm, I lost my arm and my leg in the army, in the military, and I've been fighting to get a veteran retirement, and it took me several years, and now I finally got my retirement, and now I have some money to invest, okay? What do I do if I am a new person to the cryptocurrency market and I just got the money today? And Ty, you're telling me that we're in the gray and it's too late to buy, right? What should I do? I want to invest in the crypto market. What should I do? Okay, thanks. For those people, I would say just buy Bitcoin, right? And if you're just super extra bonus, stubborn and stupid, you know, and hard-headed, and you don't want to listen, then I would get like 75% Bitcoin and 25% Ethereum. That's it. That's it, right? Now, some of you guys, man, I hate giving these options, guys, because I know that you guys are going to use it against me. I know that you guys are going to use it against me, and I hate to share these options with you, okay? I hate sharing these options with you, these choices with you guys, because I know you're going to use it in the wrong way. You're going to say that, oh, Ty said this, and I'm going to be like, I didn't tell you to even fucking buy, you dumbass, right? I told you not to buy. And if you're too stubborn and you're too hard-headed, right, or you're new to the market, then only buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you guys are going to say, well, Ty said it's okay to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, so it must be okay to buy the other coins too. I know some of you dumbasses out there are going to say that. You're going to twist what I say and use it the way you want to do it instead of hearing what I just said, okay? So I'm going to repeat it loud and clear. when we're in the gray, we should not be buying anything. We should just hold our money and wait for a dip back into the green before we buy. And when it dips in the green, don't be a dumbass and try to call me and ask me, Ty, we are in the green now, should we buy? Don't ask me for permission. You already know that our strategy is that when it's in the green, that's when we buy. When it's in the gray, we are neutral. We hold and we don't do anything. Okay? But some of you guys are too freaking stubborn. Okay? You're going to buy. So if you're going to buy, just buy Bitcoin. And if you're really stubborn, just buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay? Now here's the thing. If you have the money, I would not buy 100% of it. Let's say I have $10,000. I would buy like 5,000 in Bitcoin and I would just leave it there. The other 5,000 I would wait for it to crash back down to here. Okay? I would wait. Let me do this. Okay. Let me put that back on. Okay, now check this out. Check this out, guys. When you guys do this, right? When you guys do this, some of you guys are saying, hey, Ty, if I use the trend, I'm still the green, so that should be okay for me to buy, right? And I would say, yeah, because it's still in the green, and that's the reason why I'm okay with the latecomers, the people who are late, still buying, because if you look at it from a trend, if you tilt the support and resistance levels, it's going to become a trend like that. That's the reason why I'm still saying that. However, once it gets above 1,000 points right here, I would not be doing anything, guys. It's just really late. Okay, I would not be doing anything. Okay, so that's how our system works. Now, if you use somebody else's system, they might say something different, and so don't ask me about that because I don't know their system. Okay. Don't ask me something I don't know. If I tell you I don't know, don't keep asking me because that's annoying as shit. Okay? Don't ask me when I tell you I don't know. Like, I don't know how to answer when is the market going to go up. I don't know how to answer how much profit am I going to make. I don't know that. Stop asking me those dumb questions when I tell you I don't know. Okay? All right. Now, for the opportunity strategy, our Malaysian student asked, at the beginning, I think my focus will be on the Tyfu index strategy first. Okay? Now, here's where our students are making the mistakes. Here is where our students are making the mistakes, and I don't want you guys making it. Don't fucking think. When the student says, I think my focus will be on the Tyfu index strategy first, don't be a fucking dumbass. Do not pay us to share with you guys our trading system, and then you go do the thinking. Don't fucking think anything. Okay? Just do what we fucking teach and make your life-changing profits, and when you crack 10 million US dollars, then you can think about doing some shit different and inventing new shit. If your team has not cracked $10 million yet, stop fucking around and thinking about inventing new shit because you're not capable of doing that. You don't have enough knowledge, you don't have enough skills, you don't have enough experience, you don't have enough capital, you don't have enough team members, you don't have enough software engineers to help you develop something new. Don't fucking think nothing. Just do what we teach you, right? Build you a Tyfu index portfolio, rebalance your portfolio like we show you, and stop fucking around and stop trying to think. I don't want you guys thinking. If you sign up to become one of our students, do not fucking think. Just do what we teach. We already figured this shit out. You haven't. You pay us. Do the shit that we teach you. Stop trying to think. Stop trying to reinvent it. Put your fucking ego aside. Once your team cracks $10 million like our team has, then you can think about inventing new shit. Okay? Notice I said team. Notice I said the word team, okay? You cannot make money alone. You have to have a team, okay? I'm not saying I made $10 million. I'm saying our team has easily surpassed $10 million a long time ago, many years ago, okay? Back in 2017 or something like that, all right? So stop thinking, right? Stop thinking, just do. Okay, he got some questions about staking strategy here. A Malaysian student asked us, any coin that I buy, as long as it allows us to stake, I should stake it, right? Yes, yes, as long as you're not sending it to a smart contract, okay? If you are sending it to a smart contract to stake for you, make sure it's just a small bet size, that it doesn't hurt you. If they get their smart contract gets hacked and you lose everything, you don't lose your ass, okay? Give me a moment here to get some coffee here. Right? Okay. Okay. So a Malaysian student here goes, I should keep my fucking mouth shut and listen. My new strategy should be to just keep my mouth shut and listen, right? That is correct. That is a correct strategy, okay? If you go learn how to figure it out on your own, then go do it on your own, okay? But if you pay us to show you the Tyfu investing system, right? If you pay us to study the cryptocurrency investing blueprint so you learn how to build the Tyfu investing system on your own, do not try to invent something new. Just listen to what we do and just follow along, right? And he says here, I should keep my mouth shut and just follow the Tyfu strategy, correct? The answer is yes. And the other one I would add to that, besides keeping your mouth shut, right, and listen, is to stop thinking. If you have a question, you're not clear on how to set up a certain component of the Tyfu investing system, then call up me, text me, email me, or give me a call. I hate typing, so don't fucking goddamn write a long-ass email or stupid shit like that, okay? Because I hate that shit, all right? I don't like responding to typing long emails, okay? Just text me, hey, I got a question about this, and I'll give you a call and I'll answer for you, and then we're done, okay? He says here, I should say, fuck you to the ego and getting an MBA degree and etc. I'm nothing, I'm going to start all over again. No ego, and this is the bottom line, right? That's right. Put your ego aside, put your MBA degrees, put all that dumb shit aside, okay? Make your money, don't waste another cycle. It really hurts, man. You guys don't understand, man. It really hurts me to see our students miss an opportunity in 2017, miss an opportunity in 2021. Please do not do it a third time. I swear to God, if I find out one of my students missed 3 cycles, right? I'm kicking your ass out of here and I'm suspending access to the cryptocurrency investing blueprint course. Even though I gave you guys lifetime access, I'm cutting it off because you're fucking too goddamn stupid to goddamn make life-changing profits. Go away, go somewhere else. Okay? There's no reason for you to be studying our cryptocurrency investing blueprint and miss 2017, miss 2021, and the next bull market. If you miss it 3 times in a row, I should put that in our terms of service. That if you miss 3 cycles in a row, we have the right to cancel your access to the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, because we don't want people to know that we have students that fucking stupid in our students, okay? If your ego is that big, even if you're smart, right? Even if you're a smart guy, if you have an ego that big, you need to go somewhere else, man. Go somewhere else. Don't come around our channel, right? We want winners that are in our circle. We want people who make life-changing profits around us, right? I remember meeting Heidi from the Crypto Tips, from the YouTube channel Crypto Tips, right? We tried to recruit her to come be on our team and work on our channel, you know, but she decided to do it on her own. That's fine, right? We still respect their team. And her husband, Toby. At that time, I didn't know Toby because he was, you know, keeping it low key. I wish he would have known that back then, so that when I first met Heidi, I could have talked to her husband Toby and tried to build a team together. All right, but I did not know it at that time, right? But I remember meeting them in Dubai, and we took them out to dinner and everything. We had a great time, right? Finally get to meet them in person. Whatever you guys see online, how they are online, right? That's how they are in real life, okay? Now, I have met some people online, and when you meet them in real person, man, fuck, goddamn, they're fucking creepy and weird as shit. They're like really fucking weird, man. Like, you see them, they're doing this, and they're all excited and shit online, you know? And when you meet them in real life, you're like, what the fuck? Like, it's not even the same people. Like, however I am online, when you guys meet me in real person, man, I'm the same person. Okay, I'm just as stupid in real life as I am online, man. Okay, so it was good to meet Toby and his wife, Heidi. And they are, the way that you guys see them in online, that's how they talk and that's how they behave in the real world. So no fucking weird surprises, okay? But some of these guys, man, like some of these guys that have like, Tone Vase. Tone Vase is also another person that I met online, and when I meet him in real life, that's also somebody else that is the same way. The other person that is the same way is Da Vinci 15, right? Da Vinci's channel. Whatever you see online, you meet him in real life, he's the same person, okay? It talks and behaves the exact same way. No sudden changes, no weird changes, okay? But some of these other channels, right? You meet them in real life, man, they're fucking weird as shit. Like, you don't even want to be near them. So, like, some of these channels that have like 1 million subscribers and shit, man, you meet them, they're fucking weird as shit. Like, get the fuck away from me, okay? All right, back to this, all right? The reason why I mentioned about Toby and Heidi is that if you guys make life-changing profits, if I meet you in person, you know, I'll be happy to take you out for coffee and dinner, okay? Because we like having those people around us. We like knowing those people in our lives, okay? The people are real, all right? Not fake asses. Okay, the Malaysian student says, hey, my goal is to hit $10 million first and retire first, and then spend that time afterwards trying to figure out a new strategy. 100%. 100%. Okay, 100%. Right? 100%. That's exactly how you should do it. Do not try to figure things out on your own. You don't have enough time, you don't have enough money, you don't have enough capital to waste. Okay? He says, my time should be focused on my career, earn as much as I can, save as much as I can, and then invest it into the Tyfu strategy and the setup. That's 100%, right? Keep questioning my goals and how far my goal can go and how to speed it up and to quit my 9-to-5 job. Exactly, okay? And then just repeat this process over and over in every cycle, right? 100%. Now, he says something here that I disagree with, okay, that I'm suspicious about. He says, my number is that I want to hit $1 million, right? My goal is to hit $1 million. Sell everything and buy locally strategic bank shares at Maybank. Maybank is a bank in Malaysia, right? It gives me 5 to 7% dividend every year, okay? Now, for the 5% to 7% dividend every year, that's fine. I don't have any problems with that. Maybank, it's a reputable bank in Malaysia. I have no problems with that. The problem I have with is the goal of hitting $1 million. That's what I have a problem with, okay? Whenever somebody tells me they have a goal of hitting $1 million, right? I have a problem with that because that is not a real goal. That is a fake ass goal. That's just a random fucking number, right? That tells me that this individual, this Malaysian student, did not take the time to calculate how much money they need, okay? So for example, right? For example, let me pull up a calculator here, right? For example, let's pull up this calculator. I'm going to show you why I think this is bullshit, okay? Whenever somebody tells me that they have $1 million goal, I just call it bullshit, right? Here's the reason why, right? So let's say that when I had 2 kids and I lived in the U.S., I'm going to use that number because that's the number I used originally, right? My
goal was 4,000 per month times 12 months. That's $48,000, right? So I'm gonna round it off to $50,000, just so the math is easy. So $50,000, right, per year, right? I need about 5 to 10 years of runway. 5 to 10 years of living expenses for me to feel comfortable quitting my job and retire early, okay? So check this out, 50,000 times 5 years, that's 250,000 minimum, okay? So times 10 years, right? Times 10 years, that would be 500,000. So I need a minimum lump sum, okay, of 250,000 to 500,000, right, for me to quit my job, be comfortable quitting my job and retire. The reason why I say 5 years is because most market cycles are 2 to 4 years, okay? So 5 years gives me one cycle. So I have enough money to sit and wait for one cycle, for the next cycle, so I can make another lump sum of profits, okay? 500,000 gives me 2 cycles, right? And depending if we have a long cycle or short cycle, it could even give me 3 cycles, okay? 3 market cycles to make the money, right? So I would need a lump sum of a minimum of 250 to 500,000 for me to feel comfortable to quit my day job and retire early. So that's the number I have in my head, okay? Another number that I would have is this, right? Another number I would have is this, is that if Maybank is paying me 5 to 7% interest, I'm going to use the 5%, okay? I would say 250,000, I would say $50,000 a year, right? Divided by 0.05, that gives me $1 million, right? So then, if I say that I need $1 million because I can earn 5% a year at Maybank, and that pays me $50,000 a year to live comfortably and take care of my family with that $50,000 a year, then that would make sense. However, in order to put money into Maybank and earn that 5%, more than likely I have to be a citizen or a resident of Malaysia to do that. So in Malaysia, for me to live and have a $5,000 a month, a $4,000 a month quality of life, it's about $1,000. So 1,000, right, times 12 months, that's $12,000 divided by 0.05, right? That is $240,000, and we can round it off to $250,000. So if you said I need a minimum of $250,000, I can put it in the bank and earn a 5% interest, and that pays me about $1,000 a month to pay for my living expenses. That makes sense to me. So for my Malaysian student to live in Malaysia and say that I need $1 million, I don't see that. That does not make mathematical sense to me, okay? Now, let's just say that he says, hey, I want to live large, I want to live large, I want to live a luxurious life, you know, a high quality of life. Then I would say double that, and that would be double that, and that $250,000, right, times 2, that'd be $500,000, right? And that is still not $1 million. So I would say to my Malaysian student is get your math accurate. The more accurate your math is, the more accurate your goal setting is, the more accurate that your strategy, and you can get there faster, easier, and more efficiently when the numbers are more accurately, okay? Now, I share with these numbers with you guys, and they're fairly accurate for someone living in Southeast Asia. So if you're living in Europe, Canada, or America, or Australia, and you say, hey, you know what? This is a good idea. I like living near the beach. I can live in Phuket in Thailand and live near the beach. I can live in Penang Beach or Georgetown in Malaysia and be near the beach. I can live in Da Nang or Nha Trang, right, and be near the beach in Vietnam. I can live in the Philippines, right, and this would be a lot cheaper for me, a lot lower cost. Then these are fairly accurate numbers. That's the reason why you keep hearing me say $200,000 in Vietnam can help you retire early. That's the reason why, because you can put it in the bank and get 5-6% interest and get that payment. If you're living off of $1,000 or $1,200 a month in Vietnam or Thailand or Malaysia, you're living good. You're living like someone would live on $5,000 or $6,000 a month in America right now. Okay, so that's the reason why I say that, all right? So the $1 million target is not an accurate target, okay? I would redo the math on that, okay? Okay, my Malaysian student says that in the past he was trading with perpetual contracts. Don't do that fucking dumb shit, okay? Perpetual contracts is throwing money away. If you guys want to invest into perpetual contracts, just give me the money. I'm serious, just send me the money. At least when you lose everything, you know, right? At least when you call me, I'll still answer the phone calls and, you know, tell you how to build a profitable investing system. Perpetual contracts is like throwing your money in the trash can. Using margin is like throwing money in the trash can. Trading on leverage, that's like throwing money in the trash can, okay? Just don't do that, please. All right, I have not met a single trader in the past 10, 15 years that uses margin, that uses perpetual contracts, that uses leverage, that makes consistent profits in every cycle. I have not seen it, okay? I have not seen it. So I cannot tell you guys something that I have not seen, okay? Don't do it, okay? And then he goes on and asks a bunch of other questions about the percentages in perpetual contracts and margins. I'm not even gonna answer that. Or in the futures market, please don't do that. It's stupid, don't do that, right? Okay, he asked a question, it's a good question. He goes, how did you rebalance your portfolio without this trading software in the past? I did it by hand. And it's very, very difficult because I'm not good at math, you know, and I always have to ask Leon, and it was just really stupid, right? It was never accurate, it was not accurate, right? So I don't like doing that. So that's why I'm hiring the software developers. Right? We got 8 people working on this Tyfu portfolio manager right now, all right, to make sure that it's accurate. It's slow, guys, it's not going as fast as I want, okay? Right? Right? So we rebalanced it by hand, okay, in the past. I selected the coins by hand too. It was just not accurate, guys. That's why we had to build the Tyfu portfolio manager back in 2017, build the indexes, and then later on we added the Tyfu portfolio manager in 2019, okay? All right, let me answer a few more questions on the comment section here, and then I'll finish this live stream, okay? Sugatu asked if Bitcoin ETF is approved, is it good for the cryptocurrency market? Yes, it is. Once the ETF gets approved, there's going to be a massive spike up, okay? And it's only going to be short term, guys. It's not going to be like, you know, there's going to be a massive shoot up, right? And since we are in the gray area here, if we get approved for the ETF, I expect it to be a big shoot up right here, and there'll be a very, very good opportunity to take profits. So get ready when that happens, guys. Just get ready, right? Because if it's approved, the bank or wealthy people will have control over it. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't have right now the wealthy people have control of the banks anyway. So what's the difference, right? Sugatu says, isn't that why Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin so rich people don't have control over it? No, that's not the reason why he created it. He created it so it can be censorship resistant. Okay? He didn't give a shit about who controls it. Right? I have not seen any evidence that Satoshi was worried about somebody controlling it. He was more worried about developing a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, right? That was censorship resistant. The electronic cash system has now been converted to a store of value. It's no longer a electronic cash system. So that's what the Bitcoin maximists they want. They took the electronic cash system that Satoshi built and they converted it into a store of value now. So that's what we have now. Oscar asks, when do you start setting up a trade? I started investing near the end of the last bull market and was unable to log onto the exchanges to trade sometimes. That's why we tell everyone to open up multiple exchanges. Go here to our company tab, click on the FAQ, and look at FAQ number 3. We list all the exchanges that we use. So go there, open up as many exchanges as you can, okay? And then we started setting up the trade back in 2022. In the middle of 2022, we said we were going to buy at the end of 2023, and then in October of 2022, we said that we're going to delay it 1 month, a few weeks, and wait until January 1st, 2023 before we start buying. Anytime we buy and sell, guys, we tell everyone in advance, 2 or 3 months in advance. We tell weeks and months in advance, guys, so no one can ever accuse us of pumping and dumping on our viewers and on our students. You cannot accuse us of that because we tell you in advance, several months in advance, and we tell you the fundamental reasons. The reason why we said wait until January 1st is because the Federal Reserve in America was increasing their interest rates, and we wanted them to increase it 2 or 3 times and let the market settle down, get used to them increasing interest rates. And then we wanted the elections to be done in America, okay? So that was the reason why, okay? So there's nothing that we do out of nowhere, out of surprise, okay? You guys don't have to say that, oh, Ty didn't tell us, because I already tell you 2 or 3 months in advance, okay? Oscar says, I want to be better prepared with a plan to sell the trades for the next bull market, okay? Yeah, just plan like we show. Set your goals, and when the market gives you the opportunity, right? I would also say, man, you know, I'm not trying to sell you guys the cryptocurrency investing blueprint or anything, but if you don't know what the hell you're doing, it's a good idea to invest into a training system that can teach you how to do it so you don't have to sit there and figure it out on your own. Like, why the fuck would you want to do that shit for, right? You don't have to learn it from us, learn it from somebody, right? Learn it from somebody, okay? Food Trend says, will you add tutorials to stake on Ledger in your course? Yes, we built out all the tutorials on how to transfer the top 30 coins in the already, and in the next few weeks, we're working on setting up the tutorials on how to stake every coin that's stakeable in the Tyfu 30. So yes, we are doing that. Yeah. Okay, in the past, we didn't have students ask us, but recently we've had a bunch of Vietnamese students ask us, so we're going to create those tutorials for them, right? Tran asked, when is the BTC having? Just search online. I don't know, right? I don't memorize that because it's not a big deal for me. So, and then he asked, so now is the altcoin season? I don't know when is altcoin season. Like I just told you guys, don't ask me when and how much. So when you ask me when is so now is altcoin, when is altcoin season, you're asking me when. I don't know. I already told you guys I don't know. So stop asking me questions that I don't know the answer. Okay. Sugatu says Dien Tong BTC having around April. Okay. If you looked it up, then look at that. N4D Gain Z is real creepy as shit. Chong Williams, my portfolio is about 250,000. Do I have a chance to be a millionaire this cycle and die? Right? The probability? It's a high probability because all you need is a 3-4x and you can become a millionaire, right? You know, that's I don't see that being a big problem, right? Genghis Khan goes, what types of accounts do you people in Southeast Asia invest in to earn such a high yield with relatively low risk, right? They're usually government savings accounts, right? Because the government cannot print money like in the US, okay? So like the Malaysian ringgit, you know, it's only good inside Malaysia. The Vietnamese dong is only, that currency is only good inside Vietnam, right? So that's the reason why, you know, I tell people, man, like if you're in America, you want to go to a low, you want to retire early, what I would do is I would just get like a couple $100,000, right? And I would move to, like, instead of going to Tampa, I would just move to Da Nang, and then I would set up an account, right? Now you have to be a Vietnamese citizen right, to earn that 5-6% interest rate. But the way you do it is this: you open up a stock trading account. Okay, which they let foreigners open up stock trading accounts, and then you open up a stock trading account, and then inside that stock trading account is where you put the money in to earn the 5%. Okay, so you don't do it through the banks, right, but you do it through the stock trading account. Okay, and that's what I would do, right? And then the other thing too is that the risk, whenever you hear me talk about in Vietnam, the banks pay 5%, or in Malaysia, they pay 5%, the risk is the inflation, okay? The inflation for the Vietnamese dong and the Malaysian ringgit is much higher than the US dollar or the euro or the pound. It's significantly higher. So you lose value in the currency, right? But here's the problem. Here's the benefit, right? The benefit is that you are using that Vietnamese dong inside Vietnam to pay for your food, your electricity, your rent, and everything. So to me, it's worth it if you are living in Vietnam. Now, if you're living in America and you take your money and you put it in the Vietnamese banks and earn that 5%, to me, it's not worth it, okay? Because the inflation is going to kill you, right? Okay, Anon says, do you save on taxes living in Thailand? Yes, because it depends upon what kind of visa you have, right? I'm not allowed to work, right? In the visa that I have, I'm not allowed to work in Thailand, okay? I'm not allowed to work here. So they cannot collect taxes on me if I'm not allowed to work here, okay? So my... and I have to renew my visa very, very frequently, okay? So it depends. If you're allowed to, what do you call that? Oh, and the other thing too is that I don't live in Thailand, right, long enough to become a tax resident here, right? So those are other things that you have to consider. You have to talk to a licensed tax attorney or a licensed accountant to figure out all the tax stuff, depending upon your situation, your tax residency, and your citizenship, okay? All right, so that's all the questions that I have on this live stream, guys. I appreciate you guys joining me on this live stream, right? And I hope I answer all the questions for you. I don't do a lot of English live streams because we've been broadcasting on our English channel for over 10 years now, and there's not much left that our students ask me, okay? Anon asks, are you still a U.S. citizen? Well, the answer is no, because I was never a U.S. citizen, okay? When I came to America as a refugee, so I was never a legal resident. I was allowed legally to enter the U.S. as a refugee, right? But my family was uneducated and we were very poor, and they did not know that we had to go and get a green card and go apply for citizenship and do all that stuff. So my family did not know about that. So, and I did not know about that. So I grew up, I was 5, 6 years old, and I grew up all the way up until I was an adult and never knew that I was living inside the U.S. illegally, okay? I was illegal in the entire time that I was in the U.S., okay? And I never knew that until I went to prison. And when I went to prison, that's when the immigration asked me for proof of my legal residency or my citizenship, and I could not produce it because I did not know that I needed it. So when I went to America, I was growing up in America, I went to a different school every year. So it never once crossed my mind, right? It never once ever crossed my mind that I was living in the U.S. illegally. It wasn't until I chose the wrong people as friends and got involved in drugs and I went to prison, and that's when I found out that I was not a legal U.S. resident, okay? So I have never been a legal U.S. resident in the U.S. I've never been a U.S. citizen or anything. So I say that, and people always ask me, but you live in the U.S. for 40 years, how come you're not a U.S. citizen, right? Even when I come back to Vietnam and people ask me, and I said, they said, So for example, in my village, if you are not a Vietnamese citizen, you have to go report to the police. So when I went back to my village for the first time, and the police came over and they asked me, they go, hey, we just want to check to make sure that, if you're an American, citizen, that, you have to report to us. And I said, why do I need to report to you guys for? And they said, well, you're an American citizen. And I said, according to who? They said, well, you lived in America before. I said, well, that doesn't mean I'm a U.S. citizen. And I said that, yeah, but you lived there for a long time. And I said, yeah, but I was never a U.S. citizen. I was living in the U.S. illegally, right? And they looked at me like, how can you live in the U.S. for 40 years illegally? I said, because nobody fucking gives a shit. Why would the fucking U.S. government give a shit if you live there illegally or not? All they care about is you pay taxes. And I was one of the highest taxpayers in America when I lived there, right? And they're like, and they just looked baffled. They're like, they thought I was full of shit. But nobody gives in America. They don't give a shit. And I told them, I said, there's 1 million illegal people coming into America every day, right? Every year. They don't give a shit as long as you pay taxes. That's all the U.S. government cares about is, are you paying taxes? If you pay your taxes, they don't give a shit what else you do, right? Right? So, when Anon asked, am I being, doesn't the U.S. tax people globally? Yes, they tax U.S. citizens globally, but I'm not a U.S. citizen, and I'm not a U.S. resident either. I'm not even allowed to enter the U.S. right now. I have to apply just like anybody else in Vietnam. I have to apply for a visa and everything to enter the U.S. So right now, even if I want to go to U.S. for the Miami Bitcoin conference, I cannot go. I have to apply for a visa at the U.S. Embassy, and if they give me permission, that I can enter, right? More than likely, they're not going to give me permission because they're going to look at me and say, oh, you were living here the whole time illegally, and you've been in prison, and you've been ordered deported outside the U.S. We're not letting you back into the U.S., right? So there's no grounds for them to tax me when they won't even let me come into the U.S., right? Now, my business partners and my team members, right? I have a bunch of team members that are trying to renounce their U.S. citizenship right now. They've been trying for the last year or two, and it's not easy, okay? It's not easy. Okay. The reason why it's not easy is because they see a lot of people renouncing the U.S. citizenship now. The number keeps increasing every year because people want to leave America, and the embassies are making it extremely difficult because in order to renounce your U.S. citizenship, you have to go to the embassy and renounce your citizenship at the embassy. And the way that the U.S. is preventing people from renouncing is that they just don't give you an appointment at the embassy. So if you call the U.S. embassy in Bangkok, they say, no, we don't have time. You call the embassy in Malaysia, they say, no, we don't have time. You call the embassy in Indonesia, they say, no, we don't have time. So they just brush you off. In Dubai, now we don't have time, or we have a full schedule, right? So they're doing that on purpose to prevent people from renouncing. But every year the number of people renouncing is increasing. So wherever you are at, it's almost certain. It's almost 100% certain. It's like 99.99% certain that when you try to renounce your U.S. citizenship, they won't let you renounce it at the nearest embassy. They're going to make you go to a far embassy just to make it a hassle for you so you don't renounce. Okay? All right, the battery's about to cut off, guys, right? So I'm going to have to end it's flashing that the battery's going to cut off right here. So I answered that last question for you, right? Heidi and Toby renounced their U.S. citizenship, but they couldn't do it at their nearest embassy. Like none of my friends, none of the people, none of the allies and friends that I know of that renounced, none of them are able to renounce at the closest embassy next to them. They have to go to another country to renounce. It's the fucking dumbest shit, right? It just comes to show you they know that the U.S. is going downhill, right? They know people are leaving, and they're doing their best to stop people from leaving, okay? So, all right? Okay, hey, thanks for joining me on this live stream, guys. The battery's about to die here on this camera, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter
and then over here, and then follow me on Telegram right here, and make sure that you get a copy of the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint. Stop sitting around, stop screwing around, and try to figure it out on your own, okay? Go learn from somebody that's done it already and has helped many other people do the same thing, okay? Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in a future